At callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings Talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my goodness. On a Thursday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And honestly, I don't know if 4 hours is enough to break down everything that we have to break down. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. Roundtable, we moved it an hour up to 11 o'clock because we had to make sure everybody's here. Some scheduling, some different things had to happen. So Chris Watkins, Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, 11 o'clock sharp, okay? The most influential hour of Kings Radio Talk. That's coming up at 11 o'clock. And you know what? There is a lot to get into. The compartmentalizing that I'm doing in my own life as I watch Russell Westbrook do things that we never thought we'd see in a Kings jersey. And on a night where we had no clue what to watch. At one point, it was some of the worst basketball I think I've watched at the NBA level in a very long time. But it rounded into form. Maybe it was a Picasso type of painting. At first, you look at it, I don't know what this looks like. Then at the end, you see how beautiful it truly is. With Russell Westbrook putting up his 204th career triple-double in his 18th NBA season, who turns 37. In a week, with all of that happening, okay? It happened at Golden One Center, and it happened in a Kings jersey. So that's what we're going to get into. So here's my situation. Here's my conundrum, right? With all that being said and how good Russ looked, the situation is this. You still got to win basketball games. And last night they did. So when you win basketball games, we can sit there, and now he has the most rebounds by a guard, by the way. We can sit there and we can enjoy it. Against the Bucks, we can enjoy it. That Nuggets game, couldn't enjoy it the same way. That Thunder game, couldn't enjoy it the same way. Russ has been playing well this whole time. And you bring somebody like Russ in. Did we really think, you know what, I got to apologize for a second to Westbrook FC, the Westbrook fan club, even though sometimes they call me overweight, even though sometimes they're not very nice, I got to apologize because I must have been out of my mind to believe that Russell Westbrook was going to do the Chris Paul thing on the Clippers. Chris Paul playing, I don't know, 12, 15 minutes a game, just kind of there, hoping that they win and he can get his little ring. No. Russell Westbrook, he shows up. He could be 37, he could be 47, he could be 57. It's his show. So if you invite that to your team, you need to understand that is his show. And then on top of that, he comes in with Keegan Murray being injured, so you need him to do certain things. We should have known. And like I said, maybe I should have known that this is what was going to happen. You live by the Russ, you die by the Russ. And last night, they lived by the Russ. And it was a beautiful thing to see. But it wasn't all about Russell Westbrook as the Warriors were unable to take care of business. By the way, I'm done. I'm done with Podziemski. I'm done. Okay, he's a good little ball player, but can we stop? Can we be serious here and look at basketball and look at what we're watching? Come on, man. Again, you take your friend to a basketball game, okay? You take your friend to a basketball game. You take somebody that doesn't understand basketball, and you say, hey, just watch. Just watch what's happening and tell me what you see. Nobody is picking out pods, right? Now, Jonathan Kuminga. We're going to talk about Jonathan Kuminga. And Will Richards, oh, my goodness. He was balling too. But pods, give me a break. He's like 7th on the list of Warriors players.
I feel like only Warrior fans, though, were the ones who were trying to sell us on pods.
I don't even think they were. I think it was just Joe Lacob. And Warrior fans tried to talk themselves into it, and it's just not going to happen. So the young crew from the Warriors, unable to get it done. Jonathan Kuminga, the Jonathan Kuminga experience looked hot to start and then cooled off. That three that he could have taken to tie the game, he had already made a couple that night. He thought about it. He's got to be like Drew Eubanks, just take the shot, and he doesn't. Gets to the court or gets to the paint, puts up a weird fadeaway, which still would have had them down one, ends up missing it, and the Kings ultimately take care of business. Now, the Kings were supposed to win. They were only favored by 3, but they were favored. The Kings were supposed to win. Dennis Schroeder did his thing, his revenge game, and I was really happy for him. We've talked about his jump shot. It hasn't looked great at times. He made, those 3 threes to close out the game. So I was really happy for him. Warrior fans were very rude, man. They were very rude to Dennis Schroeder because he was not very good on the Warriors. He wasn't. But they let him have it. And I know that was a tough go for him, right? It was a failed experiment. He ended up in Detroit, and it worked out. Now he's in Sacramento. So there were so many revenge games that we talked about. Did Buddy Hield play? I don't know. I gotta check the box score. I know he was out there early. I don't know if he got benched or if he's part of the vets and Steve Kerr just didn't want to waste his energy. But no revenge game from Buddy Hield. He was just kind of there. And the Kings took care of business. Okay? And we have a ton to talk about. Anthony Edwards will be back. As of right now, he will be back on Sunday. The Kings obviously have the Thunder on Friday, not to get ahead of ourselves. Like I said, Kings Roundtable coming up. Russ, should he be in the starting lineup the rest of the way? And we got to talk. Look, I talked about the Warriors' young talent. How about the Kings' young talent? How about Nick Clifford? So I literally pressed send on a post, right? I literally pressed send on a post. And the post was, I'm about 5 Nick Clifford missed threes away from sounding the alarm on his jump shot. It looks great, but I'm about 5 threes away. I believe Nick Clifford, as I pressed send, went on to make at least 3 threes in the ball game. So we can, I'm not thanking myself for it, don't get me wrong. I'll take the reverse jinx, but we can put that into a different category. We got to see Maxime Reynaud. Obviously, we'd like to see more, but it was nice to see him do some of the things that don't show up in the box score. And he's starting to look a bit more comfortable. Got to see what he can do offensively. But, he's getting thrown into the pool. That's just what it is. And he held his own last night. A younger team on the other side. So we would hope he'd be able to hold his own. And he did. And the Kings took care of business. A win is a win is a win is a win. What we will get into deeper in the show as we will be joined by the roundtable at 11, and we will have the Russell Westbrook conversation in that 12 o'clock hour. What we will get into is the compartmentalizing of the Kings and how Russell Westbrook and what he brings to this team, it's incredible. You cannot deny that. But is it in a way, or could it be viewed as a crutch? Could it be viewed as a break in case of emergency? And they broke it to start the season. Now, when you lose Keegan Murray, to be fair, and you only got 1-4 on the roster, one true 4, who's really a 3 if you talk to his pops like I did. You can check that out on YouTube. Shout out Kenyon Murray. When you lose somebody like that, then yeah, you do have to unleash Russell Westbrook. And if you unleash Russell Westbrook, he's going to be Russ. And what did Doug say? You got to let Russ be Russ. But a little deeper than that, not just the players, because nobody's talking about Keon Ellis today. Nobody cares that Keon only played 17 minutes because they won and they beat the Warriors because it is a rivalry. It is. So everybody is reacting. I don't want to say overreacting. I don't police fandom. React how you want to react. They won the game. It feels good when you win. Everybody loves a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We love it. But nobody's talking about Keon Ellis, and I'm not even going to talk about the young guys. I was talking to somebody that will remain nameless. I said, hey, there's nobody talking about that. Well, Allen, what do you want? You want him to play Devin Carter? Okay. You don't have to, right? You live by the rest, you die by the rest. That's cool. But I'm not just talking about Russ. I'm also talking about Doug Christie. What is the offense that the Kings are running? What is it that we can say, hey, this is their calling card? Because to me, to the naked eye, and I don't know as much basketball as anybody getting paid in that building, but to the naked eye, it looks like you're letting a bunch of vets do vet stuff, which is cool when you're winning. And they won last night. They were supposed to win last night, and they did. But when I look at Doug and the development of him as a coach and the development as the coaching staff progresses, I do wonder, at the end of this season, or however long it lasts with Russ, what are we going to be able to say that we watched Doug get better at, right? Because it's just a lot of let Russ be Russ and let Dennis Schroeder be Dennis Schroeder and let the vets do the vet stuff. And maybe that's what they want. But if I'm Doug, or if I'm somebody that wants Doug to continue to progress, it's kind of hard to do that with somebody like Russell Westbrook. So I am incredibly excited about the win last night. I had a bunch of texts. I got a buddy who's in Mexico right now for a wedding. He's a Warrior fan. He couldn't watch the game. He goes, Al, I just saw the box score. What the heck happened last night? Looks like Russell Westbrook went off. Vintage. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And in the short term, and the Westbrook fans, they're not Kings fans, right? So they don't care. They want to fight with the Kings media. They want to fight with Kings fans because they just travel in packs to wherever Russ goes. They don't care about the long-term success of the Kings. They don't care about any of that. They just care about how Russell Westbrook looks. So it doesn't matter if they change their AVI to a Kings jersey. And I told them to call in. I don't know if they do that type of thing. They just like to bully people on social media. But they can change their AVI and put Russ in a Kings jersey. They can do all that, but they're not Kings fans. They do not care about Sacramento. They do not care about the Kings. They care about Russell Westbrook, right? It's this new age of fandom. LeBron started it. And I know it really started with MJ, maybe even before that. But that's who they care about. So I don't really care what they have to say. I care what Kings fans have to say. And a lot of people last night, as I see it on the chat, and I see it on the text line, Allen, drink the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it. It's purple. It's a great flavor. My only question is, and it's not even a question, as long as you win, there are no questions. And last night they won. They're 1-1. Now they can go, like I said, 3-2 lives, Kyle. 3-2 is alive. All you got to do is beat the Timberwolves and either beat the Nuggets again or beat the Thunder. Well, that's all you got to do.
Thunder's Kimpton Sawyer night, so Thunder already a win. All you got to do is beat either the Wolves or the Nuggets.
And the Wolves not going to be easy. Nuggets not going to be easy. I said early on at that point we thought Anthony Edwards was out, right? I said that you could get the Timberwolves, and they played the Nuggets tough last time. Russ balled out. They should be able to get the Nuggets at home. The Nuggets are not unbeatable. No team is unbeatable. By the way, the Thunder, they lost their first game. This is actually bad news, by the way. The Thunder lost last night, so they will be coming off their first loss of the season on Friday, just to let you know. So we can deal with that when we deal with it. But 3-2 lives. So I found myself very confused this morning, and I would say the word I would use is fascinated. Very fascinated at how a lot of Kings fans were just ready to go all in on Russ. The same people that called into this show, what are we doing? And I get it. I'm the king of, hey, you can enjoy something and not necessarily, have it affect the long term, the compartmentalizing like I talk about. I'm the king of that. But last night felt like, and maybe it's just because it's the Warriors, felt like we crossed over into we believe in this squad. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe we were just all enjoying our time yesterday to get a solid win, but I didn't see the typical, the Warriors didn't have anybody. Well, you had Russ, DeRozan, Schroeder. You had way more vets playing than the Warriors had on the team. I didn't see a lot of cynicism last night, and that surprised me. And I guess I'm proud of Kings fans for that. And a lot of it's the same people that we'll see. But I also wonder, is that simply because it's the Warriors? And, you go back to some of the other rivalries in sports, Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, Giants. It doesn't matter what iteration of the teams they are. When you play that team, it's on and popping. As MLB free agency starts today at 2, I believe. Is it 1 or 2? It starts this afternoon. So we'll have something for that if the A's or the Giants, of course, make any moves. The Giants made a couple coaching moves. Bruce Bochy is going to be a special assistant, and they brought in Jace Tingler from Kyle's former Padres as well.
Oh, we don't like him.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the don't swing 3-0 guy. So, yeah, Kyle, I woke up this morning, man, and I watched the game, and throughout the game, maybe I didn't realize the greatness that I was watching with Russ because he had been playing very well, but I did not expect to go on social media and see the celebration that I saw last night. And and I'm not saying to celebrate. I'm not saying not to celebrate, because I celebrate every win. We have more listeners when the team wins or when they fire their coach and trade their best player. We have more listeners when the team wins. The vibes are better when the team wins. But normally there is a coalition, specifically on social media and on the text line. We'll see them as well, where it's they are very cynical, right? You just beat the Warriors and they didn't have anybody. Kyle, I didn't see any of that last night.
So the Westbrook part I understand, because people are treating this like that time Derrick Rose put up 40 points in a game after coming, or was it 50, after coming back from knee surgery, and people were like, look, vintage Derrick Rose is still around. Like, people were like, vintage Russell Westbrook lives on for the first time since he got traded to the Lakers, right? Because ever since then, it's just been, and I know he averaged like 20 points per game in a playoff series no one remembers for the Clippers, but this was like the first time you got to see Russ looking like the Russ that people remember from 2021, at least on a national stage, right? I mean, he's probably done it. But it
wasn't national. He's been doing it this whole time. He was an assist shy of a triple-double a game or two ago, and it wasn't a national game.
I mean, this isn't a national game either, but
I'm saying this wasn't a national game.
Yeah, it's just the Warriors, and people were watching it. Cool. So anyways, I normally say a game where both teams are missing their three best players, you can't take any like grand conclusion out of it or learn something from it. I mean, Russ was playing alongside the Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, and Maxime Reynaud lineup that everyone was begging for at the start of the year. We finally saw it. It was those guys. It was DeRozan. Monk obviously had a 20-point game, which Monk's just been 20-point games across the board all season coming off the bench. So I'd normally say you don't take away big picture takeaways, but at the same time, I did not think Russell Westbrook would have a single game like this his entire time on the Sacramento Kings, and he did it in what, game 8?
See, I didn't think that was the case. I didn't think that this has never been a question for me as far as Russell Westbrook's able to produce. It's always been about long-term and development. Always, always, always. I never, as much as, like I said, Westbrook fans will get on me and think that I'm not a fan of Westbrook when that just simply isn't true, especially when he's shooting free throws on a yacht. It's always been about the long-term goals, right? You ever seen the movie Think Like a Man? What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? That is also what my mom used to always say to me. What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? That's what it always was to me. And the Kings are guilty at all times of thinking short-term. And I think that is, as I work this thing out, and we're going to get calls, we're going to get texts, people are going to say, Allen, shut the bleep up. And that's fine. That's fine, because I don't have a problem with that, number one. And number two, I enjoy what I'm seeing from Russell Westbrook. It's almost like a short-term sugar rush, though. And I guess we don't know that until we get to the trade deadline or closer to it, and maybe the Kings go on a run here. And then at that point, I will shut the bleep up. It was just funny to me that last night's game was the game where essentially the Kings community came around, put their arms around Russell Westbrook. And maybe that's the thing. You do this again. You do what Russ did against the Warriors. Even if my grandmother, rest her soul, was in a Warriors jersey, it doesn't matter. You are a king for life now. I think there was a little bit of that. And I do think that there is a point where people just wanted some feel good. You're big on this, Kyle. People just wanted some feel good. Yeah. And the Bucks game, it was on a Saturday at 2:00. I don't know how many people got to watch. Like I said, I was at a birthday party, but Wednesday night, all eyes on the Kings and the Warriors. And what we saw was Russell Westbrook take the bull by the horns, because the Warriors, they were not going away. I mean, they had their system that they work. Will Richard looked great, right?
Will Richard putting up 30 is crazy.
Crazy. Moses Moody killed the Kings, as he always kills the Kings. And it looked like, you know what? They might trick this off. And Russell Westbrook said, it's not going to happen on my watch. And I think that more so than the actual victory was Kings fans, and this is not a slight to De'Aaron Fox, but Kings fans have been yearning for somebody to say, I'm not letting it happen. Not today. And I don't know, I'm not saying they would have won that game or lost that game with De'Aaron Fox. It doesn't matter. It's just the identity that Scott Perry had talked about bringing in Russ. The Kings fans haven't seen that in a very long time. It's, yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what? I'm still worth $300 million. Now, he never said that, but that's how it came off to people, right? That is not how it comes off when Russ plays. And I think that even though none of the Warriors' big names were playing, along with the Kings' big names, that honestly, I think bodes well for who Westbrook is, right? You got to see this man don't care, because that Kings team, right? They've lost to the Wizards. Don't be that team, Kyle Kuzma. They've lost to the Wizards. They've lost to the Nets without Cam Johnson in their house. And I think that last night there was a large group of Kings fans that were worried that it was going to happen again, because that's what we've seen. And again, you bring in Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine doesn't seem like the most vocal guy either. A lot of people aren't. That's fine. Dennis Schroeder isn't. Domantas Sabonis can be, but it's a bit, you don't really know, right, where he falls on this leader scale. There is no surprise. There is no anything. There's no question when Russell Westbrook is on the floor. And that is how you ingratiate yourself with the fan base. And that's what Russ did last night. And like I said, it doesn't matter who was in the jersey. It doesn't matter who was in the jersey. 916-339-1140. How did you feel about last night? Is the Kool-Aid too sweet? Does the Kool-Aid taste just right? Do you put ice in your Kool-Aid? Who does that? You put a little fizzy water in the Kool-Aid? Okay, you fancy. Let me know how you're feeling, because I'm working it out with you throughout these next 4 hours. That's what I'm trying to do. Call in. Kyle's going to help as well. Allen Stiles Show, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a win in New York, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey had another big game, 106 yards rushing. Mac Jones, also a big game. He threw for 235 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the victory. San Francisco with the win improves to 6-3. Upcoming, it's a huge game for the Niners on Sunday. They take on first place LA. Catch the game right here on Sactown Sports 1140, beginning at noon on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru Sacramento. Now is the time to get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather ahead with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. Maida Subaru offers the largest Subaru service facility in the Sacramento area, factory-trained technicians, express service, and the all-new cafe now open inside the dealership. Don't miss this chance to get everything you need to get your Subaru winter ready at the Maida Subaru Winter Service Event. See all the service specials at MaidaSubaru.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
To Moody. Moody back to Pajimski. Knocked out of his hands by Westbrook. Out of bounds off Pajimski. Moody Sacramento ball. And Russell Westbrook has come up with a huge defensive play to go with his triple-double tonight that may ensure the victory for Sacramento.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or
listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. I don't know why this song popped into my head last night. I was just thinking, you know what? I haven't heard this banger from DMX and Swiss Beats in a while. And it is a Throwback Thursday, so Kyle had to cook that up for me. And Kyle, you said you heard it because a lot of times you don't hear the songs that I
this
request.
is normally before my time.
Yeah.
But I know this one only because I went to all those A's games this year. I probably went to like 25 or 30, and this is Denzel Clark's walk-up song.
Which is funny because Denzel Clark is probably either your age or slightly younger.
Denzel Clark is slightly younger than me and also from Canada.
Cultured stuff right there. 916-339-1140. We are working through a great win for the Kings. That is undeniable. But when we look at the long-term effects and the long-term plan for the Kings, how should we react to it? And we have time to do that. We got 4 hours, right? On its face, short-term goals, win. Raiders play tonight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Just win, baby. And nobody has questions. Let's hear from Kyle on the call line, not Kyle the producer, who wants to talk Westbrook, 916-339-1140. What's up, Kyle? What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Allen and Kyle? I appreciate y'all having me on. So I've been listening to Sports Talk 40 like recently. It's really a good program. I really like y'all segment. But Allen, I got to pick a bone with you in a good way.
Okay.
All love. I feel where you're coming from in the sense where you don't necessarily see the long-term plan for the Kings, and I think that most fans have that same kind of sentiment. But I'd have to ask, like, do you even have, like, a roster that you could put together that the Kings could afford that even, like, hey, this is what I'd want to see?
Mm-hmm.
And that's more of a rhetorical question. But
Yeah.
I would say for the Kings roster right now, this is what I see. I see a lot of vets that know how to play basketball, and personally, I really like Russell Westbrook on the team.
Yeah, it's a great call, Kyle. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you call in more. That was great stuff. It's not necessarily that I would rather see anything. What's funny is if they lose that game, right? And this is, look, it's a make or miss league. It's a win or loss league. If they lose that game, somebody is complaining that Keon Ellis only played 17 minutes. Somebody is, right? I know he's not a traditional point guard. And now that Malik Monk is back, it's going to be tough. But somebody's complaining. You win the game, nobody complains. It's less about flipping it, and maybe I'm just getting a little too far ahead of myself. It's more so about, okay, when we get closer to the trade deadline, that's when decisions have to be made. So we don't know what the record's going to be. You're right, Kyle. They could be balling, right? I'm the one who initially said, and I would agree with last night, even though both sides were missing guys, they have played, I don't know what the percentage is now, but they've played more of the season at a level that's good enough to be an 8 seed than they haven't. Now, when they haven't, it hasn't looked good. But there's an 8 seed in there somewhere with enough breaks. If you can get healthy, there's an 8 seed in there somewhere. So I'm not necessarily saying that I don't like what Russell Westbrook is doing. I guess I'm just getting too far ahead of myself when we look at the trade deadline and the long term of it. I don't want them sacrificing a whole season to try to contend, and they end up being a 9-10 seed, and now you didn't play, and Nick Clifford's going to get time because Nick Clifford, I have a whole segment on Nick Clifford coming up because the dude, and I keep telling y'all, I liked him when he was drafted, and a lot of you were telling me, Allen, he might be it, and I said, you got purple lenses on. No. I got to spin the block because you were right. So we're going to talk about Nick Clifford. Nick Clifford's going to get his time. But I guess the only other name, if I'm being fair, all things, it's Keon, right? It's Keon. So, and I don't know, does this suppress his value and allow the Kings to keep him in unrestricted free agency at the end of the season? Or does he agree to terms on something in February when he's available to or able to extend? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reacting too much in the future and not just taking it game by game. Again, it was just funny to me that was the game last night. And again, it's the Warriors. Doesn't matter who's playing. you still got Buddy over there. Everybody can't stand him. And you got Pajemski over there. He's supposed to be the white Ohtani. That's his words, not mine, if he played baseball. So I get it. There's enough over there to be annoyed, and I know a lot of people just get annoyed by Steve Kerr's face. So there's plenty over there to still annoy you and still want them. I actually have a text here that I cannot say on air at all, but this is from the 916, just to add to it. Nothing is better than beating the bleep bleep Kerr and his bleeplings. The Kool-Aid is just right. There's nothing better than a player who busts his bleep as the blue-collar style for Sacramento. So I guess that kind of just tells you right there how people feel. Maybe more of it is the Warrior thing. Maybe it's more of the Warrior thing. But to Kyle's point, Kyle, I'm not looking at it.
Which Kyle?
Caller Kyle.
Got it.
Kyle, I'm not looking at it as, hey, I'd rather see this and not see Russ. I'm just saying, as long as I'll put it to you like this. As long as there is a timeline, I'm good with a timeline. If they say, hey, we're going to do this vet smorgasbord thing and see what happens, and at the trade deadline, it doesn't work. If we are the 9 or 10 seed at the trade deadline, and let's say, because this is the thing, then you can say, well, Allen, they're the 9 seed. How many games back are they of the 8 seed? Right? This is where it gets kind of sticky. And I don't know what they're going to say. But let's say, hey, let's just make up something. They say to us, or they say internally, hey, if we are the 9 seed or the 10 seed, and if we're the 9 seed, we're more than 3 games back of the 8 seed at the trade deadline, we are selling. It was a good run, but we are selling. Then I'm good with all of this. I don't want them to get too caught up as they're fighting and clawing or whatever and push this through, trick off some development for younger guys, and then I know they're flattened odds, but possibly mess up where they're at for this ridiculously loaded 2026 class. So that's where I'm at. It's not necessarily Keon needs to be playing more than Westbrook. It's not that, because right now it's all fine and good. And when they win, there's not really going to be any complaints from me. It was just funny that everybody it felt like so many people bought in last night, and it was just funny to me that was a game where they bought in.
So you're making the point, which I think is a fair one. Can you play it down the middle of, I want Westbrook to be able to cook, and Westbrook probably should be in the starting lineup, and Schroeder can play an off-ball too with him on the floor? Because they were running lineups last night with Westbrook and Schroeder, Westbrook, no Schroeder, no Westbrook, and a lineup where neither of them were on the floor. At one point, Malik Monk was on the floor as the point guard. So they're doing a little bit of everything. But your point is, we can have the Russ Cook offense, but not be the 2021 Wizards, is kind of how to play it.
Yeah, it's basically, and this is what I said to kind of promo the show. I said there are two worlds. What Russell Westbrook is doing is incredible. That's the first world. And the second world is all that matters is the Kings' record at the trade deadline. To me, if you're sacrificing player and coach development, you better be winning, and last night they did. That's where it's at. You win games, it's hard for me to complain about Keon, and yeah, I'm not going to complain about Devin Carter per se, but Keon and Nick Clifford's going to get his minutes, so there's not going to be any complaints there. That was something we were worried about. Here's the thing, though. When Keegan comes back, and we all want Keegan to come back, that's when I'll be curious about, Keon, at that point, I don't know where he gets time, number one. Then number two, I don't know what happens to Nick Clifford. So that's something, and Doug made it a point to say, hopefully we get Keegan back soon. We blinked and it's November, right? Yeah. I was saying yesterday, they're bringing up Keegan, but that's still a while. He's not coming back till November. Oh, it's November. So October, I blinked and October was over. So that's another piece of this. I guess that's the larger piece of the pie, because this isn't the final iteration of this team either. And we have now established, it's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's hard to put the Westbrook back in the Westbrook, right? We've unleashed Westbrook, And now I think there's going to be a question about Dennis Schroeder and a lot of different things once Keegan comes back.
So I think this is why it's hard to read it based on one game sample, because it wasn't just Keegan being out last night. It was LaVine who had been playing 35 minutes a night, and it's Sabonis who's your basically only starting center. Because last night they did both. Nick Clifford was in the closing lineup for the Kings. They ran, I had the note here, their closing lineup was Schroeder, DeRozan, Clifford, Eubanks, and Westbrook. Like that's a kind of combination. Well, first of all, it's all Scott Perry people except for DeRozan. But two, it's kind of doing both. Nick Clifford's getting his run with the starting unit down the stretch in what used to be the Keon role. So I think you're kind of doing both. Devin Carter, they've given up on his development. I just don't think they think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Maxime Reynaud played 15 minutes last night after I was feeling down, thinking, he just can't contribute on this team. They found time for him. So I think they kind of did a little bit of both yesterday.
Yeah. And that is something to say, and it was initially Keon hadn't been closing. But even with this new version of it, Neek comes back and Neek is closing. Eubanks, you need a big body in there. Yeah. And, it's funny how the Keon thing is starting to flip. Each and every day I see more people say, we got to stop with this Keon stuff. We got to be more realistic. It's funny how life is but a flat circle, because that was literally us in the summer. That was me getting yelled at by Kings fans talking about how Keon might not be best suited on this team. And now that Westbrook is balling out, now Keon, we overvalue Keon. Look, man, that's word for word, bar for bar. On the other side, let's talk revenge. It is sweet. We got the box score. Who successfully executed their revenge game and who did not? We got dings, we got buzzers. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace. and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour with special guest Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Revenge is sweet. We're also going to be joined by the Round Table, the Revenge of the Round Table. That's coming up at 11 instead of our normal time of 12. We had to move some things around to fit everyone's schedule, and it was very important to me to have all of them here. So that's going to be at 11. If you miss it, it will be on YouTube and the Sactown Sports app.
We bring the boom. That's what we
So now
do.
what's the sounder for Chris Watkins?
I got to get it real quick. It's in a different tab, but it's...
Pretzel! And then Brendan Nunez.
Yeah, they're all in different places, so it takes me a second to find
again.
them. But
Not this again. But, you don't need to have Frankie's ready. Frankie should be just as hard to find as the rest of them.
Well, I added Frankie to our main show one, so I guess I should just add all three of them to the main show.
Or remove Frankie. One of the two.
You don't like the Frankie one.
We bring
He
the
doesn't. No, he doesn't like the Frankie one.
That's why we do. What do you? The whole point of this segment is to do things that annoy Frankie with the dumb song and the dumb sounds. Calling him the pizza cowboy. It's just all things that will annoy Frankie.
916-339-1140. Some texts are coming in, and somebody says Ja, Westbrook, Monk, Sabonis, and Murray. That would be a championship. Somebody else says, that was from the 916. 925 says, what you're saying makes no sense. If we are in the 8th or 9th seed, this team can't win a title in the next 5 to 10 years. Russ can still cook a G League team. We are in purgatory. 530 says, Allen, long-term plan. This team is going to be completely different in 2 years. What long-term plan are you talking about? I'm talking about the guys that are on the team right now. But I hear what you're saying. I don't, that has been, and if you are curious as to what Joe from the 530 is referring to, a lot of money comes off the books at the end of the 2027 season. So when we've talked to Sean Cunningham of KCRA and others that are very, very close to the situation.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
You and these drops today. Very close to the situation. And, we're all trading information and trading what we're hearing. There is a thought that the real restart will be at the end of the 2027 season. But you know what? A lot of fans don't want to hear that because that's a long time from now. So, yes, Joe from the 530, that is also what has been discussed. As we get to this revenge, Kyle, you got the dinger and the buzzer ready?
Yeah, we're gonna go through the 6-player revenge parlay. Did they get their revenge or not?
Yes. So last night or yesterday, we were discussing all the different storylines in the Kings-Warriors game and all the different hashtag revenge opportunities that would be out there. Some of the players cashed in on it, some did not. Kyle, I'm going to start with the Warriors since they are on the top of this box score. Let's start with the one, the only, Jonathan Kuminga. The revenge there was, hey, you should have given up that pick. We don't know if it was that simple, but we are pretending like it was that simple. Kyle?
Wasn't his over-under set at 23.5?
Oh, no, 22.5. He crushed it. Well, he didn't crush it, but 24 points. He was 2 of 5 from three-point range, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, did have 5 fouls, did not take that 3 at the very end. They were down 3. He dribbles into the lane, ends up taking a fadeaway and misses it. That was pretty much the game. Kyle, did Jonathan Kuminga successfully execute his revenge game? I'm still going to say yes.
I'll say yes because prop talk came through, but other than that, I mean, it's just kind of a normal Kuminga Cooks kind of game.
Yeah. But that's what it was going to be this season for the Kings, right? Just let him do his thing. And that second half, teams are going to make adjustments, and you're probably not going to get to the finish line with him right now. He's only 22 years old. Next on the list, well, it's not a revenge game. He just absolutely fries the Kings every time.
Is Moses.
Good Lord. 28 points for Moses. And by the way, Malik Monk, we love you, brother. But how many times are you going to reach for the steal and then raise your hand so the coaching staff and the team sees it's your fault? Dog, you don't got to raise your hands. We know it was you. We all saw it.
He wanted the revenge dunk, though.
28 points. And at least 10 of them were off of Malik Monk trying to go Olay. At least 10.
At least 9, because that's 3 threes.
At least.
There were 3, I remember.
So Malik Monk, I don't know why he dislikes the Kings, but he cooks them every single time.
Moses Moody will go with...
Moses Moody, 6 for 11 from 3. Moses Moody, as always, that is the lock of the day. Anytime you prop talk with Moses Moody and the Warriors. Will Richard, good for you, second rounder. The Warriors can't keep getting away with this. 30 points, 5 of 8 from 3. The dude was a dog, man. I'm sorry, I hate to say it.
Didn't think Will Richard was capable of scoring 30 points in an NBA game, but here we are.
By the way, if you want to drink some Warriors tears, they were destroying Brandon Pajemski. He had no revenge. He just is not that good. 14 points, 31 minutes. I don't even know why he was out there for 31 minutes. And also to drink some more Warriors tears, Al Horford. Warriors fans are already turning on 57-year-old Al Horford, and they wanted him to bring it home last night, Kyle. He played 26 minutes. He was, this was bad. 0 of 8 from the field. He did have 7 rebounds, but he had 0 points.
So he's new Kevon Looney.
I mean, I don't even know why. To be honest, this is on Steve Kerr. Why are you even playing Al Horford in that game?
What was the point of having Al Horford if you're not going to play him on a night Draymond isn't playing?
No, you don't play him on a night like this.
Where Draymond's not available?
No, you don't play him on a night like this.
The whole point of having Al Horford.
Guy Santos, who must have the best agent ever, because Guy Santos has the same agent as Kike Hernandez on the Dodgers. He's just on the Warriors.
What do you mean? He was a second-round pick.
He's just on the Warriors. He's been on the Warriors for 7 years.
It's like in his third year.
Never plays. Guy Santos, I actually just want Guy Santos' job. I'm just jealous.
Guy Santos is younger than me.
Buddy Hield, revenge game, 9 points. He was a minus 13. Good Lord. 13 minutes, 49 seconds. I don't know if Buddy got benched or if Steve Kerr just said, we've seen enough, but he didn't play in the last minutes. I know he was coming off the bench, but they needed scoring, not from him. He didn't play as much as Pat Spencer, the accountant. Pat Spencer.
Yeah. Steve Kerr said, I can't have Pajemski and Buddy clanking.
So, Buddy Hield, Kyle, no revenge for him. That was a disaster class.
No wonder Jimmy was trying to play for him.
Yeah.
He just needed those Jimmy dimes.
Yeah, that was bad, Buddy. You should have just stayed. Buddy and Al Horford should have just stayed home. And maybe they kind of did. I mean, Al Horford played 26 minutes. Okay, Kyle, let's get to the Sacramento Kings and their revenge. Russell Westbrook has revenge against every team in the NBA.
Well, for all the Kevin Durant stuff,
Well, just in general, yeah, just the battles that he's had with the Warriors in the past. 23 points, 16 rebounds, making him the guard with the most rebounds in the history of the NBA. 10 assists. He had another triple-double, and that's just what Russell Westbrook does. Kyle, that's revenge right there.
For something.
Next on the list, and this one was sweet, man. This one was really sweet, and I've been really hard on this guy. Dennis Schroeder, 18 points, 3 of 5, and he made all those threes in the fourth quarter. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Warriors fans were completely despicable to Dennis Schroeder. He was awful on the Warriors, don't get me wrong, but they were awful to him. That had to feel really good for Dennis Schroeder, Kyle. That is my circled revenge game out of all the revenge games last night.
I'm sorry to betray you, mister, but I put my phone down before I go to bed, so I'm watching the game, but I didn't check my phone until the morning. And I get a text from you that says, Schroeder banned.
Okay, no, hold on.
And that was before he just started. I know for a fact that was before he just started burying threes.
It was the third quarter.
Yes.
Like, he's banned.
Yeah, you were ready to ban Schroeder.
Yep.
And I didn't respond to you.
Kyle, you really put me on blast like that.
Yeah, woke up in the morning and I was like, he definitely sent that before Schroeder started just banging 3 after 3 in the fourth quarter.
You know who's now banned instead? Buddy's bum self. He's banned. 7 points in the
banned.
7 points in the first half, and he ended with 9. 9, buddy. Really? And Pods. That bum Pods is banned too. They're both banned.
So the white Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Which is still
and Bahama Mama. They're both banned.
Pajemski, in a non-Michael Porter Jr. world, Pajemski might be the least self-aware player in the NBA.
Here's the thing, though. This is the game for you, Pajemski. Nobody else is playing. He did nothing. He did not stand out. Anything.
Because he's not that good.
I got Moody over him. I got Kuminga over him. I got Will Richard over him. He's hanging out with Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer might have had a better game. All right, let's continue because we're up against it. Malik Monk is to the Warriors what Moses Moody is to the Kings. Malik Monk kills the Warriors every single time. 21 points for Malik Monk. That's a great revenge game. And I think that's it, Kyle, for the revenge games. Devin Carter only played less than 5 minutes. Keon Ellis played less than 20. Keon didn't score at all, so no revenges there, but they got it done.
So what do we say, 4 out of the 7?
4 out of it was solid. It was solid, and the Kings took care of business, most of them. It was the bum Warriors that weren't ready to have their revenge. Revenge of the Round Table when we return. Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, and Chris Watkins on South Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
I'm Navy vet Phil Briggs, here for Navy Federal Credit Union. I always love Veterans Day because it's when I see my buddies posting up pictures of us when we were younger and built for speed. Navy Federal Credit Union also celebrates veterans of all branches and their families every day of the year. As a veteran, you can become a member and access exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools for the whole family. So become a member today at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
I found out that one of my players was vaping, and I said, hey, right now is the time to be honest with me. He said almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in. I said, how many of you guys think that your kids are vaping? Not one of them raised their hand. There's a joint fight to make something better. We don't sit back and let it happen.
Coach Sanchez is exposing Big Tobacco's playbook. Learn how he and other Californians are beating Big Tobacco at undo.org.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and vocal.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
We are back, and I know I was bragging this whole time about being fully loaded as the round table, but life be lifing and traffic be trafficking if you're Brendan Nunez. So we got Chris Watkins in the building. We got Chris.
Am I here?
Yes, you're here now.
I'm here.
It's always that one. That one always has
I don't know
something.
what it is.
Whenever I'm doing crosstalk, it's always that mic. But you are locked and loaded now, Chris.
We're ready. We're ready to go. I don't know where Brendan is. I saw Frankie's headphones in his office, so I assume he's working.
There's somewhere.
Somebody's got to.
Let's start here, Chris. I know you probably saw some of what I had to say last night and what a lot of people had to say. What was your takeaway from last night's game? Because you are a pretty level-headed cat.
Thank you.
Right? But a lot of people, and I'm saying some really cynical Kings personalities, if you will, they were all in on last night.
Really? Yeah.
And, obviously it's the Warriors, and I get that.
Sure.
But I was a bit surprised that I really didn't see a lot of, guys, I know we were missing DeMontis and Levine,
Right.
but we just beat the Warriors with Pods as the pioneer, the catalyst of that squad. But I didn't see that. I saw, no, I'm in. Russell Westbrook, let's do this. I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, I think I did not see a ton of the general discourse, but I would say hearing that, I am surprised too, because especially just based off of the conversations that we've all had about where we think the fan base is at, you would think a night like last night would feel just super pointless, right?
Yes.
It's what did last night in any form of building for the future, any form of building or trying to figure out what this team currently is, didn't answer any of those questions. I don't think we got further into any of those questions. I think I think we could just take last night as a story. Last night is a night that we will not forget. Last night was the Russell Westbrook night, triple-double, beating the Warriors. Yes. I think a big part of the reason, if I had to guess why people aren't really making a big hubbub of like beating the Warriors or not making a big deal of the fact that the Warriors didn't have any of their players is probably because the Kings themselves also did. Like, it felt like an even match. It was two teams that were only going with their role players, and it was a little bit of, if you want to say more pure basketball, whatever, but it's like, hey, there's no stars, there's no great equalizer or, something that's going to take you over the top like a Steph Curry would have in that game, or maybe like a random 35-point night from Zach LaVine last night would have maybe changed how last night looks for the King side too. So I don't know. I think it was just a really, I won't say, in the grand scheme of things, it was a relatively pointless night, but I think it's the kind of night that, Sacramento Kings fans are going to remember for like the next 10 years.
Yeah,
honestly.
It became the rebounding champ.
Yeah,
exactly. As a guard.
Too, yeah.
It was the bench bowl. That's what we're calling it.
That's a great,
bench
for
bowl.
sure.
And look, DeMar DeRozan, not a bench player, but
the Bay Area bench bowl.
The Bay Area bench bowl.
Just two Bay Area teams going at it.
Oh, well, I'm not. Hey, people just starting to like me. I'm not saying anything about the beam.
It's looking bright, man. The beam's looking bright these days.
It is.
Man,
it is.
crazy.
I mean, every year they get more sponsors.
It's
That's
great.
More lights.
Hey, shout out Fong Law.
Yeah,
Fong Law. Keeping the lights on.
Got the jersey on. It's all fine and good.
Great.
So and the back and forth that I've had with the Westbrook fans and all of it. I mean, it's been insane to me.
There's two different. There's Kings fans, and then there's like literally a subset of Westbrook fans that are just following the Kings this year.
Yeah, they don't care.
It's
about
the definition
the
of a
Kings.
bandwagon. Like they're literally just traveling along with wherever Russell Westbrook is going.
They're just nomads.
Yeah,
right.
It's
Wherever
incredible.
we're going, where are we going next, Russ?
Yeah.
And with that being said,
they're loyal to it.
It's
insane.
No, they will.
It is like actually
cut you deep.
Kind of. I hope none of them. They don't. No, they're just online, right? They don't.
I told them
they don't
to
do
call
airwaves because
I told them to check. I told them to check.
Some
check
of them,
Rob.
I'm like, guys, like, I hope he sees this.
Yeah,
very much like I don't know what you're doing all this for.
None of them have tried yet. We don't even see them on the YouTube.
I'm telling you, they only exist on Twitter.
Yeah, so
or who knows?
Let's take it here. And I was trying to find the right way to say this. I was messing around. Talking to Frankie before we came in.
Where are they?
I don't know.
What is going on? We bring the boom. Dude, not clearly not today.
No. And by the way,
noon or something.
By the way, I know no free promotion, but Costco has a Stromboli now.
Oh, I think I did see that.
It's hitting.
Yeah, they
what
added
did that
a couple
have to do with anything?
The boom.
Costco boys.
The Costco boys.
Oh, that's right.
You don't even know what you're playing.
Yeah, come
Kyle.
on, man.
I mean, those guys
Kids
are
these
washed
days.
at this point.
Pretty much.
Not
That was
the
like
Rizzler.
7 months ago, dude.
Not the Rizzler, but
yeah, the Rizzler's got like combo meals now at Hardee's.
In middle school these days.
He's probably taller than me. As we continue the conversation, and Chris can't contain himself.
I think he's short, Tim. I think he's short.
Kyle or Chris.
So just a force of habit at this point.
It's just like when you yell at your kids.
The conversation as far as Russell Westbrook, this is what kind of left me in a conundrum, right? Because it's not even about, because nobody's talking about Keon Ellis only playing 17 minutes.
No.
Because they won.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Or there's something else to talk about.
Yeah. I was honestly, in my mind, thinking, what about the development of Doug Christie? And the fact that, I don't know, Chris, just kind of looks like Doug is saying, all right, Russ, go out there and do your thing, right? I mean, what is the offense they're running? And it just feels like we're going to end this season, and hopefully it's not the case, but we're going to end this season, and I don't know who would have – I know Neek is going to get better because he's, young guy. Keon, I don't know what happens to Keon once Keegan Murray comes back. I think that's even less minutes for Keon right now. But I look at somebody like Doug, and I'm thinking – I mean, he's kind of just letting them roll the ball out. Is that unfair? Are you seeing more than what I'm seeing? I'm just seeing a bunch of vets that Doug is just letting kind of do what they've done for the last 15 years in the league.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think, it's definitely something to monitor for sure. I'm just not sure if 8 games is where, if we're talking about Doug's specific development, I don't know when is the right time to kind of start to notice things, but it still kind of feels like he's in the adjustment or taking punches, if you will, era of his coaching development where, he's still very much feeling it out and things like that. And I think he's done a good job. I've been, for lack of a better term, impressed with his willingness to go play all the young guys, start the young guys, play Maxime a ton, whether it be out of necessity or not. I think I just wasn't expecting those guys to play as much as they have. But to your other point, they've definitely played. He's leaned on veterans a ton here, and we've had conversations about the deeper meaning and like, you know, the long-term vision of this team. Is that really productive? In terms of what they're running, it is a lot of iso ball. Not a lot. Like it's a lot of iso ball relatively to like what the league standard is. But yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of pick and rolls. I think that's the biggest difference is instead of dribble handoffs, we're seeing pretty much every play start with some version of a high pick and roll, and then action works off of it. It hasn't been super flowy. There hasn't been really many moments where you've said like, oh, you could tell that this is something that they've rehearsed and it's, guys driving and cutting and screening at the right time and, execution is clearly evident. Like, that one play in Milwaukee definitely sticks out where the ball was humming.
Yeah, they clipped it. And
everybody, it's all over Reddit and everything that.
We did the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the thing that, every team in the league will have possessions a couple times a year that ends up sparking a perfect social media video and all that stuff. But a lot of that was off of drive and kick. And, I think a lot of the time their offense gets boggled down because the lineups just aren't perfect. Like there's not a lot of shooting out there. And so a lot of the time defenses are packing the paint and that can clog offense. And so I think a lot of the time the offense kind of gets muddied. And that's where, if the offense is going to get boggled down and things like that, the Kings do have a ton of guys who are just able to create shots. And I think that's why maybe those, Doug's talked about breaking down the shot clock in 8-second intervals, and you just see a lot of the last 8 seconds, I think, with some of these lineups, and that causes a lot of isolation, just, tough shots. And DeMar DeRozan obviously is a maestro at hitting tough shots, and Russ can hit some tough shots too, but I just think it's really shown when this team looks really, really bad, the offense looks just absolutely terrible.
Well, I think that's the other side of it too, right? And somebody's saying on the chat, free, I don't want to mispronounce it, but Free Papua? Free Papua is saying, I honestly think the Kings are turning into a transition team. And I don't think they're far off. I think it's either let's get something in transition or it's ISO, right? Yeah, it's that half-court offense that doesn't really exist right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, and I'll speak for Brendan since he's not here, is that he would say that every team, like, wants to operate in transition. Like, operating in transition is something that every team should be great at, and if that's really your primary, attack on the offensive end, it's really not a great strategy unless you have a roster of people like a De'Aaron Fox and Zach LaVine, a team that makes sense to get out and run. And, I don't really feel like the Kings have necessarily excelled at that in any capacity. So, I think that's it. I think the bigger point is that does seem to be the points in which their offense looks the best is when they are in transition. Zach LaVine's a ridiculous transition offensive player, whether it's getting to the rim or his ability to just pull up from three. Obviously Russell Westbrook's ability to get downhill, Dennis Schroeder's ability to get downhill. I think that's just kind of where this team is at right now. And I do kind of think it needs to be said that this is all without Keegan Murray too. And Keegan, we've talked about before how important Keegan is to this offense. Like this is pretty, for lack of a better term, patchwork right now because they don't have the only guy that can kind of make the lineup start to make sense and to be more spaced like the modern NBA should be.
And we are now joined by Frankie Cardicelli. So now we're at 2
there we go.
Of the 3. Frankie.
Did I miss the Kid Rock?
You missed it.
You did.
Oh, thank goodness.
You did. Maybe that was on purpose. Frankie Cardicelli, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm great. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Meeting our new market manager, who's a very, very great guy. Very nice guy, Jim.
Awesome.
Really great talking to him. Did I miss you ranting about Westbrook already? Because I come in this morning and Allen is just singing through the halls about Westbrook and Kings and I don't even know what you were saying.
I was saying they beat Pods.
You were really excited that Westbrook, had his night last night.
I was saying, it was interesting seeing how everybody reacted because they beat Pods. That's what they did last night.
I think both sides would have reacted whatever way that you're inferring.
Are you saying that, Warrior fans would have walked out the arena yesterday and been like,
Dub Nation!
Wasn't that a wonderful basketball game that was played? Like, you're telling me they wouldn't have tried to rub that in?
I mean, if we're keeping it 1,000, the Warriors would Warrior fans would have had more to say because you do have DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook. I mean, you got some vets. I mean, the Warriors didn't have any vets.
I mean, the Kings are full of it. Like, who wanted nobody to play at that point?
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying how you asked me. Would the reactions have been the same if the Warriors won? I think so. Or
you think it just would have been more justifiable?
I think, I would say so.
Sure. They would say no Steph, no Draymond, and
then they would
no
say
Jimmy. They
beat Westbrook, they beat DeRozan. That's what they would say.
Right, yeah.
But they didn't because they lost.
I think that's a fair counter.
And to be real, it's like the whole shorthanded thing. We've seen the Kings lose to shorthanded teams so many times. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it really matters anymore. They're all NBA players. Will Richard last night going crazy.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter. I think before the game, Brendan was saying he was a big Will Richard guy, and I think me and Chris were kind of like, who?
I mean, I was like, he's good. He's all right. Like he's fine.
But can
30 points? I mean, it was a lot of back. Like it wasn't like it was.
He's not here to defend himself, and there are other people as well. But there's always a guy has a good night, and everybody was a guy, right? Everybody was a Will Richard guy.
I agree.
And then he plays well. Now he's a Will Richard guy.
What do you mean?
There are a lot of people who are Will Richard guys now.
Well, you meant in general. Well, you and Brendan, and again, he's not here to defend himself. No. You and Brendan are both Bay Area guys, so
yeah, that's where I grew up.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that
I live here now. I had my second child.
That's right.
Here.
You did. You're right. She's a Sacramento proud.
Which is funny because what if number one is a Warrior fan, number two is a Kings fan?
That'd be kind of fun. Then you have the kids that are wearing like the split Curry jerseys.
Oh,
remember the split Curry jerseys?
Yes, I do remember those.
the Kings Warriors Curry jersey.
Oh my gosh.
Breaky, where are you at with? And I see somebody on the text line. This is from Kimberly. I don't think anyone is saying it wasn't pointless, but we can still enjoy a fun game.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's where I'm at with this as well. But long term and what the Kings will do and where I was about to go with Chris is when Keegan returns. We blinked, October's over, and now it's almost time for stuffing and gravy and all of that. What happens when Keegan returns? What should happen when Keegan returns?
Like to the rotation?
Yes.
I mean, someone's going to the thought I had when I had that same kind of, thought bubble last night was, which is unfortunate, I feel like Nate Clifford's going to lose some minutes, which should not happen in my opinion.
Yeah.
Shouldn't happen. I feel like Russell Westbrook has put himself in a position now where he's probably, Zach LaVine's, playing shooting guard, but behind Zach LaVine, probably Russell Westbrook's been their second best guard this year, or maybe even.
I think yesterday I said he was his second most important player on the team.
I think it's really not that crazy of a thought. I mean, he's shooting 43% from three, and the rebound numbers are he's the second best rebounder on the team. The assist numbers are good. The turnovers are always going to be there, but I feel like you have to let him keep playing and kind of go until the wheels fall off. And they don't seem like they're going to fall off. Like Russell Westbrook still seems like he's very much Russell Westbrook, and maybe the Westbrook we were seeing in Los Angeles with the Clippers and with the Nuggets, that version where you're bringing him off the bench and playing him 18, 22 minutes a game, that's not really maximizing his potential. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Westbrook putting up big numbers and the Kings losing, should mean something, because I think Kings fans know, watching years and years and years of losing basketball, and like I mentioned on this show before, I think that there was a time where, and Chris can relate to this, I used to go to Kings games thinking they're going to lose, but maybe Boogie will score 40.
Right, they might win.
Maybe Boogie will score 40 and it'll be close. Like, they could win. I want to make sure that, myself, that as someone who watched Westbrook for the majority of my life, like, I want to make sure that I don't get lost in that sauce. Like, just because he's putting up 25, 16,
and that's what I was saying to you this morning.
But I don't think I didn't see the reaction from Kings fans that you're seeing. I didn't see people saying Westbrook had a triple-double. The Savior's arrived. I think it's just Westbrook's one of the greatest guards that's ever played the game.
Yeah.
He still has some juice in the tank, and he's balling right now.
For the Kings. I think that's the craziest part, is that he just had a moment. Russell Westbrook, future Hall of Famer, one of the best guards of all time. And it was like for the Kings, and we got to see it like in front of our faces like that. Against the Warriors, regardless of who was suiting up for them.
And it's at home, and like just all that comes with that. And Vince Carter, I think, is the other one thing we can kind of equate it to. Vince Carter and DeRozan. DeRozan's had some pretty big moments for the Kings too, like the step-through game winner in Dallas. He's had multiple 30-point performances.
He ain't Westbrook, though.
But like what we're seeing from Westbrook, just the way that he plays, I mean, he's electric. He's still electric. It's must-watch TV.
Very
I think,
impactful,
in my opinion,
too.
It's been impactful.
Yeah, you know what's funny? way you were talking, and I think the examples that I'm going to use, Russell Westbrook is better than, but it's the closest thing I can get to. You know what it is, guys? It's kind of we can't have Cam Newton as a backup thing, right? We can't have, a lot of people didn't want to draft Shador as a backup, and not necessarily the miming in the interviews and things like that, but just the idea of everybody's going to be talking about this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to get asked about this guy the whole time. So if you're going to put this dude on the roster, you got to let him go. And now that he's on the roster, and this is what I was talking with Chris about before you came in, Frankie, because you were late, but it was for a good reason.
Come on.
This is what I was talking with Chris about. I'm worried that the loss in the saucing that you said is spot on because of whether or not it could become a crutch and you're just so Russell Westbrook dependent. And then for some reason, if that ends or whatever the case is, the season ends and Doug hasn't really improved because he's just been letting Russ run around or Keon or Neek if he gets squeezed, things like that. So how it ended, as I started off talking to you before the show, and by the time we got to the end of the first hour, it was more so, look, this is cool. Let's see what happens at the trade deadline. That's pretty much it. We can do this dance as long as we want to do it. If they're the 8 seed, keep going. Keep going.
To that, I say, I think with people that were screaming, why did they cut Isaac Jones, and they kept Dario Saric and Doug McDermott, is because I feel like a trade is coming, and they need those salaries to use in deals. Otherwise, they would just cut bait with Doug McDermott, who's not playing in any meaningful minutes this year. They would just cut Dario Saric, who I haven't even seen him play a meaningful minute in a while. Is he? I don't even know if he's on the bench.
No, I forgot. Yeah,
I don't even know where
yesterday
he was.
we were talking about him, and I honestly was like, this guy must be unplayable because we haven't seen him. We just have not seen him, and everyone else has played.
But he's making $5 million, and you can use that. So I feel like to your point, I don't think it's going to be Westbrook's cooking till April, and the Kings win 31 games, and they didn't make a move. They're going to make a move. I feel like I can say pretty confidently they're going to make a move. Otherwise, why would they
clip that?
Don't clip that. You can't.
Clip it. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, don't clip that. Wait, who am I talking to? Why else would they hold on to the salaries? Yeah, Brendan, maybe that's what he's doing right now.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I don't look at this as a threatening. Westbrook is playing. Chrissy's going to play Westbrook 40 minutes a night, and they're going to hinder Keegan's development. I don't think so. I think when Keegan comes back and Levine and Sabonis are playing, Westbrook's going to come off the bench.
Which Doug said yesterday.
Yes.
Also, he did say he specifically said Russ is going to come off the bench when everyone's healthy. I think he even just said Levine. He didn't even mention Keegan.
He was brought in as a backup point guard.
Yeah.
He said that he can play a lot of things. I think Doug said he can play forward for us too. It's like, well, maybe you don't need him to play forward, but I think that, and Doug also put in there that he expects him to close games. So I think that if you look at it that way, I don't know. I think right now I'm just kind of, from my perspective, it's Westbrook's playing really well. The Kings are okay. They're 3-5. Probably could get worse with the upcoming schedule, but just let things happen. Don't. I wouldn't make up to you, Alan, not to the fan. Fan how you want to fan. I'm talking to Alan right now.
But not you. You don't
about
fan.
Me?
No.
I don't understand.
You're like DEFCON 1 right now. It's just like,
what do you mean?
You think the Kings fans are in love with Westbrook and
Frankie,
he was the savior.
It was a beam celebration.
They
last
won
night.
the game.
Yeah, they did. I was just surprised.
It was a great night.
How,
it was a great night.
Ownership is clapping hard.
You should have seen Joe Lake. You want to talk about ownership clapping? Woo!
Well,
you see Joe Lacob yesterday courtside?
I did not.
Oh my God. You would have thought this fool was Steve Ballmer sitting courtside. He was standing up, clapping, going crazy. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I could not believe it. You would have thought Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler were out there the way Joe Lacob sitting courtside. I'm sure Vivek hooked him up with those beautiful seats.
Yeah.
And he just I'm sure
clapping for Will Richard.
It was just crazy. I was like, if this guy don't sit Joe behind down for these guys you don't even know. Yeah, clap for Kuminga. I know you like him.
Yeah, and Pod's going to be an all-star. He told us. He tried to tell us. Yeah. By the way, somebody said 14-9-9 for Kuminga for Pajemski. Empty calories.
I don't need to hear
empty calories. On the other side, let's keep the conversation going. Is Russell Westbrook the perfect fit for the Kings? And what if it means Keon Ellis gets squeezed out? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
I feel like I can say pretty confidently they're going to make a move. Otherwise, why would they
clip that?
Don't clip that.
Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention, others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game, have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Joined by Chris Watkins and Frankie Cardicelli. So
We bring the boom.
no.
That's what we do.
Been a minute for that one.
Well, you haven't been here.
Yeah, I've played it like 6 times already.
I've been on your show the last like 3 weeks. What are you talking about?
Then he's played it. He's definitely played it. And
Turn
Russ.
this
We bring the boom.
Now,
That's what we do.
just
If
being
you're in the
mean.
car right now, I'm
sorry.
legitimately rolling my eyes. And speaking of Russ, he was playing no games last night as he goes off. Senor Segway strikes again as he goes off for a triple-double, guys. But something that nobody seems to care about today, and it's interesting, and I don't know if you've seen this either. There's been a slight shift, and I was, one of the people during the summer to kind of call out how it just might not work out and how this player might be used better on a different team. But I'm seeing a slight shift in the Keon Ellis thing and people starting to take off their purple lenses and say, hey, he's not all he's cracked up to be. Last night he gets 17 minutes and I don't even see anybody complain. I actually see some people say, stop talking about Keon Ellis like he's, the next best thing since sliced bread. So I don't know, man. I mean, obviously he's headed towards unrestricted free agency. I said in the 10 o'clock hour, could this possibly help the Kings because you suppress his value and you're able to keep him? But it's a weird situation. And Frankie, let's start with you. Just as far as what all this means, you're going to get Keegan back. You talk about squeezing out Neek because Neek's got a little bit more to him.
That was a guess, by the way. A hunch.
Yeah, right. But I mean, he's playing more than Keon right now. So if Neek gets squeezed out and Keon's not even breaking 20 minutes, last night specifically with no Zach LaVine either, I don't know. I don't know what to do with Keon at this point.
Well, I think that not easy solution, but again, I'm not just trying to throw things out there, but I feel like it's not rocket science. You have to move someone to create room. And I feel like DeMar DeRozan's the player who, Russell Westbrook as well, but, Russell Westbrook's on a non-guaranteed contract, and I'm not sure how much trade value he would have at this moment. But DeMar DeRozan's someone who has a partial option for next year and can still get you 20 points a night. And if you trade him at some point, that frees things up a little bit. You can move Neek into that spot. You can move Keon up a little bit to get more minutes. But until there's some movement there, someone's going to, like you said, get squeezed out. And it feels like Keon, for a team that has a very crowded backcourt already, what he can do. He's probably the best defender on the team. For sure, best on-ball defender. Obviously the Kings don't have much of a post presence, but I'm just talking about purely defensive skill set. It's Keon. And someone who can shoot 40% from three. You have to find somewhere to play someone like that. A lot of the teams that you see in the NBA that are in the playoffs every year, they have players that fit that exact mold right there. And I think Keon Ellis, like you said, maybe it'll help his value. I don't know. I feel like a lot of NBA teams and scouts and coaches, they know what Keon Ellis can bring.
Yeah.
Night and night out. I don't think he's going to get a $10+ million a year contract like he thought last year when he was starting games and scoring 10 points a game, shooting 43%, getting 2 steals per game, finishing second in the NBA in steals last year, I think it was, or third. I think it was third in the NBA. Someone out there will take a flyer on him. And the Kings right now are kind of in a spot where they shot themselves in the foot a little bit. They didn't decline his option. They didn't let him reach restricted free agency this year, which I think would have been probably the smart move to sign him to a team-friendly as you can get, while also, paying him what he thinks he deserves. It's kind of their own fault, and it is kind of like back to like a larger conversation of the Kings are going in 2 different directions. Like we talked about Russell Westbrook for the majority of our time so far, and that's great and it's exciting, but if you talk about the young guys, it is kind of impacting them a little bit. Neek Clifford looked great last night.
Yeah, he did.
He looked really, really good, I thought. I think that his ability to create his own shot looks good. Keon Ellis, same thing. We know what he can do on defense. And ideally, if the Kings had a spot opened up, you can find minutes for those guys. Because, like you've mentioned, Keegan Murray is going to play probably almost 40 minutes a night. Like he played, till the wheels fall off. Mike Brown and Doug Christie both would put him out there for 35+ minutes. I don't know how that changes. I don't know how you find minutes for Keon Ellis in there. Or even Neek Clifford without moving one of DeRozan or LaVine. And I feel like we know what the market for LaVine is non-existent. DeMar DeRozan's market, I feel like won't really materialize until closer to the deadline when we see the injuries that pop up around the league. Who needs help on the wing? Who needs a scorer? If the Celtics don't have Jason Tatum back, people keep bringing them up. I don't know if they're interested at all, but if they think, hey, maybe they can get DeMar DeRozan for half a season and Tatum comes back in April, great. But those are teams that might come calling at some point when injuries happen around the league into February. But it's going to be another one of those things. You're going to see people on social media screaming into the void why Keon Ellis is playing 11 minutes and not playing in the fourth quarter. It's probably going to happen unless they make some moves.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is, I think a lot of it actually is kind of what Frankie said at the end there, is that he's not finishing games or you're not really seeing him in the second half, which is exactly like Frankie said. I think it's just really a product of the fact that there's such a backlog in front of him. I do think I get a little bit, I just don't know how to feel about Keon, because some of it, in terms of the general conversation of like where is he in his development, because I think that he's playing around 17 to 20 minutes a game, and I kind of feel like that's around where he should be. Like if you're talking about a team that is competing, like I don't know if Keon I don't know if people seem to project him as a starter. I don't know, but to me, 17 minutes and kind of the role that he's playing now is probably the role he's going to play on a team that is successful. And so it's kind of tough for me because, I mean, we on one hand, we talk about this team needs to develop and worry about the future, and that should mean, I guess, Keon plays 30 minutes and we figure out what it looks like if he plays that role. But I don't know. I mean, with how the roster is currently constructed, to me, it makes sense for him to be playing how he is. And I think the bigger problem with people feeling maybe like he's not playing well is just from the offensive end, because I was just looking at it defensively. I mean, he's been there every night. Like he's gotten multiple steals on just about every game, even in his limited role. The shots aren't there because obviously DeRozan, Levine, Sabonis, we know how the math works out. And I think maybe that's where the frustration is actually at, is just that he's not getting shot attempts. But again, I still think Keon, it's not as if Keon is playing poorly. It's just I think a lot of people want to feel him more, ipso facto, give him more minutes because, he's doing it on the defensive end, but we just haven't really seen him impact it how we've seen him impact on both sides before.
I think you hit the nail on the head. This is a team that continues to tell us that they are competing, right? As of right now, they are not out of the playoffs. Right. As of right now, they could win the championship, as any team could, right? So what they're doing is playing him as if they were, as if he was on the Rockets.
Because he's not out of the rotation, right?
Right. This is what he would be on the Rockets, on the Nuggets, on one of these teams that we believe would compete. So until they're not in that spot, I think you're right, Chris. There's, I guess, not that much to complain about. It's just we don't necessarily think that they're going to compete eventually, or contend, I should say, eventually. But it reminds me of the joke I always say about, you get moved from center field to left field like I did, or from shortstop. Others.
You have a weak arm?
The dude, he played double-A ball, all right? From shortstop, Jimmy Kerrigan, we look him up once a month, maybe once a week. But
playing in the Mexican League right now.
Balling out in the Mexican League. Yeah, shortstop to second base, if you're Keon, hey, this is what you're going to be in the league, so there's no point in us what your development, and Keon said this on these airwaves on this show, I'm never going to be the second or even third, scoring option. So it is kind of what it is. I just think it all escalated and de-escalated quickly from being in the doghouse to actually Mike Brown was kind of only about 3 to 4 minutes off of what Keon should actually be playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough because I don't want to, stamp Keon already down as a guy who doesn't deserve more minutes or anything like that. I think it hasn't helped for his game that Malik is playing so well, right? Because if Malik isn't playing or shooting as well as what he's just been lights out to start the year, maybe that gives Keon or makes Doug look Keon's way a little bit earlier or in some different situations. Also, obviously, just Russ has worked out really well as well. I think it's just, again, the logjam at guards, there's so many different options that, very rarely does it feel like, hey, because they look at Schroeder as the guy that they're going to look at if they want to stop the ball, stop point of attack. And so I just feel like very rarely would Doug look at Keon's direction right now and say, I know he can shoot the ball 40% and he obviously can lock down, but it's just the other guys bring so many different things to the floor, and obviously the veteran nature of it too. It's just, it feels like those guys get the nod more times than he does because of, again, it's the logjam. It really is as simple as that.
Yeah, and it's also flow shooting, right? It's not a Doug McDermott, hey, we are a brick right now from 3. Let's put in Doug because we know Doug's going to get up 6 threes in 2 minutes. Keon is not going to do that. Correct. He's not going to force a shot. Right. So even though he's a good three-point shooter, and I think they were saying it on the broadcast, he's not a volume shooter. Yeah, so even if they're bricks,
I think he was 5 of 8. Shout out him last game.
Yeah, he was.
But then he's 0 of 1. He still played. He played 17 minutes yesterday, and he shot 1 shot.
Yeah. And that's who that's kind of what it's going to be, especially on this team. He doesn't have, if he was on a Thunder and if he wasn't Isaiah Joe, he'd probably get more shots up or Lou Dort, somebody like that.
He'd get 4 corner threes a game off.
That's not, again, so it's the team itself and it's also the collection of talent on the team. Neither thing bodes well for Keon right now.
Yeah, I would say, I was thinking about when Frankie was talking in the first segment, like this is a rare, for Russell Westbrook, this is a rare situation where player situation and team situation perfectly come together, and it's, hey, Russ, like we really have this gap at this hole and like, or this hole in our roster right now or in how we play. And, we obviously know you're more than willing to kind of take this team and run with it. And I think last night was a perfect runway for him to do that. It's the complete opposite for Keon, where it's just, this could not be a worse situation for him to be in. It feels like, again, in every other team and every other situation across the league, he would probably be getting 17 to, who knows, maybe 25 minutes because, other teams would just do better at prioritizing when he's in, get him shots.
Yeah, more focused minutes as well. The name that I thought of, and we'll continue this on the other side, is if I don't want him, I know he's somewhat of a local guy, but he's on the ban list. If you swapped Gabe Vincent and Keon, and you got Keon in LA, just guard because Luka don't want to guard, right? And Austin Reeves and Luka just finding Keon in the corner when they're done doing their thing. Yep. He needs that heliocentric type offense, and it's kind of that in Sacramento, but there's 3 dudes doing the heliocentric thing, which means they're not dispersing the basketball the same way.
I think this version of Keon Ellis would be a really good fit on the first beam team. I think that the off movement, the ball movement, the dribble handoffs, the defense which they lacked. I think him and Kevin Huerter would be a good 1-2 combo for the 2 spot. I know Davion played backup point, but probably Malik would probably get in there a little bit and take those minutes, but. Yeah, that's kind of the problem is that team had a lot of ball movement and cohesiveness. This team's kind of a lot of your turn, my turn on offense. And a player like Keon, who is not a ball-dominant player on offense, gets kind of lost in the shuffle, and that's kind of what we're seeing, I think.
Well, we had to hit our quota. You didn't think we were going to get out of here without the guys talking about how they feel about Ja Morant. It's coming up on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs.
These lights have the most clarity.
And helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
One more segment with you. Frankie Cardicelli, Chris Watkins. So, guys, there's no practice today?
None.
Not today.
They get a day off finally. Well, at least we do. I don't know.
I don't know. They might not be doing.
They might not
availability,
do anything,
which is pretty normal. A lot of
It
teams
could
do
just
that.
be a film day.
Well, you got to celebrate.
They should watch film.
You need to stop.
No, you
You got to sleep in is what you got to do.
you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right.
Huge
Got to
win.
let the champagne dry from last night.
Huge win.
You know?
Yeah.
Super proud of the guys.
Super proud. Took him up to the Beam Ignited.
What do you think?
Do you think he could do that a second time?
No.
It would have to be like a completely new group. Like, like nobody will have had to have
Maybe
been up there,
just
right?
the new players.
I feel like that would be funny.
Imagine walking Russell Westbrook and a bunch of rookies up
Like,
to
hey,
see
you
the
guys
beam.
don't have to go.
Right.
Like Keon, Keegan, Sabonis.
Did you guys cover the Westbrook LeBron story, the Will Smith thing, where like
it was so bizarre?
I imagine that same scenario for the beam situation, where it's like, oh, DeMar doesn't have to go up to the beam.
Yeah.
Oh, Sabonis. Well, then I'm not. We all just not gonna go.
Sabonis being like, "Nah, y'all got this."
Yeah, y'all got this.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sabonis
And then Keegan walks out.
Keegan doesn't have to. So obviously they take on the Thunder tomorrow night. I believe, Jalen Williams just hasn't been playing. They didn't even have Chet last time. Yeah. And I did change my tune a little bit on that game just because I watched Thunder Clippers earlier this week and the Thunder are just on another level. I know Kawhi didn't play, but they're just on another level. I don't know what to expect tomorrow night, guys. And again, Russell Westbrook played pretty darn well against the Thunder. I mean, they were leading for majority of the game. Then he played well against the Nuggets as well.
Thunder lost last night, by the way.
Yeah, and so they're going to be motivated.
Your boy Denny Allen, 26 points.
I keep trying to tell y'all. But, now everybody's going to be – now people are going to – now I'm going to be the guy, Frankie, and everyone is going to say, Allen, okay, now you're the Denny guy. But I was the Denny guy.
Denny's going to make the All-Star team in the West this year, and you're going to be vindicated.
I was the Denny guy. And you know that from dinner.
I know you have. Yeah.
From dinner.
But you're a lot of guy. Like, you have a lot of players that you think,
Keep an eye on Jeremy Sohan.
Okay.
Oh, no.
What was it?
He can keep two hands on the ball. I'll keep one eye on him.
Tejan Salon, you were really
Okay,
big
no.
on him.
Draft is different.
Is it?
Yeah, draft is different in that you're always laughably wrong.
Yeah, draft.
Spencer Rattler was your guy, too.
Okay, well, no, Spencer was my guy
Shout out QB1.
prior to the Caleb Williams stuff. And he still made it.
He did.
He did.
He's a
might be better than Kyler Murray.
He was
a starting quarterback.
Might be better than Kyler Murray.
Maybe
right
Kyler
now.
Murray's about to replace him on the Saints.
All right. Let's get to this Ja Morant stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because, there's honestly way too many updates to do here as we close out the hour. But, I guess the Spark Notes version would be we have seen that there is a lower price tag on him. We've also seen Jake Fisher recently say that they're not trying to move Ja at this juncture, which is what the Grizzlies have to say. Yep. But let's just pretend that he is available, guys. And I'll start with you, Chris. What is your appetite for a Ja Morant? And, of course, it comes down to what the price tag is. But off the top of your head, what is your appetite?
It's fairly minimal, but I'm willing to listen. I think for the right deal, I'm willing to be prudent and opportunistic. But I think, I just, unless it's like an obviously great deal, which would, in my eyes, probably be like a, DeRozan Monk in one pick, like I would probably do that. But if we're talking about, okay, we're really starting to dig into the war chest, like I think pretty much every trade that I've seen mocked up for that is including the San Antonio next year's first, which nobody expects that to be anything other than, a 25 to 30, but I just wouldn't want to give it up. I feel like Ja is very volatile for reasons that we can get into either now or at any other time, but I just feel like it's probably not the right risk for them to take right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Kings fans would say been there, done that with, the on off the court stuff. And I do think, though, like just adding in, like I know Sam Amick was on this morning with Dave and Jason, and kind of his intel, which a lot of people would agree when Sam Amick speaks, a lot of us listen, was that Memphis is definitely not interested in moving him because there's kind of like, and he kind of like added like, he's laughing about, well, this is going to get aggregated to hell, but here we go. Like their arena leases up in 2028, 29. And that if you move Ja Morant, you're moving pretty much your, I don't want to say cash cow, but you're moving a player who brings you a lot of revenue. People pay to see Ja Morant. They pay for the merchandise. They pay for tickets alone. And Memphis has had a kind of a rocky last year plus, firing Taylor Jenkins and just kind of, the roster turnover and trading away Desmond Bane. Like there's a lot of things that are going on there. So if you cut bait with Ja Morant, NBA is looking to have two new teams in Las Vegas and Seattle. I think there was whispers this week that they maybe could relocate the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. Like if you move Ja Morant, you might expedite that process. So that aside, from a basketball standpoint, in Ja Morant in Sacramento, it's kind of more of a same. You have another guy who's not a good three-point shooter and can clog up the paint. And the Kings right now are already, I think the majority of their scoring comes from the mid-range. Last night they took 23 threes, and Doug said in his pregame press conference that whereas last year he said that he wanted them to shoot 50 a night. Last night he said, I want them around like 40. And they were half of that last night.
How about get the 30? Yeah, can you get the 30?
Yeah. Get the 25.
Yeah.
Jeez. 25.
So, what's sorry. I think as you were saying that, it's kind of crazy. Walk with me here.
Okay.
Ja Morant, the basketball play of De'Aaron Fox, or maybe the basketball frustrations of De'Aaron Fox, and maybe like potential non-future proof issues of De'Aaron Fox, with potential headache of DeMarcus Cousins. Like that's potentially what we're talking about with Ja Morant.
Yes.
And that's why I think the Kings, I don't think for specifically De'Aaron basketball reasons, but I do think that maybe played a little fact. Like if he shot threes better, something tells me maybe we would have liked his style a little more and maybe would have wanted to keep him more. I just feel like it's doubling down on all of the issues that the Kings have already kind of opted out of with DeMarcus and then with De'Aaron.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
and it's re-opting in.
Yeah, you're going
with both. It's like the injury things could happen. He blows his knee out at 26, and then by the time he's 31, his career isn't the same. Or we've already seen. I mean, literally, when I saw Ja Morant suspended for a game, conduct detrimental to the team, DeMarcus Cousins flashback instantly. I was like, I have not seen that headline. I feel like I'm sure Draymond has gotten some, but like DeMarcus is like that is exactly what I think of DeMarcus Cousins.
And I'm looking at Ja Morant and 8 games this year, and obviously suspended for one of them, and 50 games last year, 9 games the year before, which was heavily a lot of suspensions in there. 61 the year before that, 57.
It's bad.
He's never played 70 games in a season, so it's there are the injury concerns, and like you said, like you put it very perfectly, Chris. Like it's almost like taking a step backwards, kind of in a way. And if you're gonna make that next big move, I don't know if Ja Morant's like the guy you want to bank on. That's saying, okay, the Kings kind of right now are lacking a face of the franchise. I mean, they have Domantas Sabonis, but he's turning 30 this season, turning 30. Who are you gonna have that you're who's your 5-year building block?
Yeah.
Is it Ja Morant?
It's Ja and what? It's like what you're gonna have Zach LaVine, you're gonna have Sabonis still.
Murray,
like that doesn't make sense.
Keegan.
Also, from like a leadership standpoint, I assume you're trading DeMar DeRozan. It's like so again, you're bringing Ja Morant, who's had we'll just say character issues, or even like I was listening to a Locked On Grizzlies guy talk about Ja as somebody who kind of isn't the most accountable guy, and that's really the one thing that Memphis really needs is like vets in that locker room, which would be the appeal of them bringing in DeMar DeRozan. So Ja then walks in here. Accountability was something that arguably got Mike Brown fired because he was screaming it from the rooftops. You're going to bring Ja Morant in here and expect Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis to sit him down and say, like, hey, buddy, like, we play defense here.
Yeah.
Like, we really bust our behinds for every minute that we're out there.
You know what's funny, too, is, and look, I'm not just placating to the group, even though they're always getting on me. But what's funny
Do
is
it yourself.
What's funny is Ja's not playing better than Russell Westbrook right now. I mean, he's not. I know it won't last, but the long run it won't last. But Russell Westbrook is playing better than Ja Morant right now.
Different things.
Different things.
If you're saying Ja Morant, how he is currently at this moment in frustration playing.
I've seen certain people say, well, look at what Russell Westbrook's doing. And, of course, in the short term, sure. And that's what I'm saying. In the short term, let's swap Ja Morant. Let's swap Ja Morant for Russell Westbrook right now.
Yeah.
Right now. And I don't know, based on how good Russ is playing, which probably won't last.
I mean, Russ is still 15, 7, and 5.
Yeah.
Like, I think Ja is capable, very capable of like 30, 7, 8 assists. He's been a guy who's, almost face of the league. Like, Russ can't even, Russ can't get up anymore, Like, he really doesn't have his hops. Ja doesn't want to, but Ja still has the physical capabilities of doing it.
I haven't seen, well, I don't have ESPN right now, but
Nobody
does.
Nobody does,
I don't know if he's seen it or not.
Nobody does.
I don't know if he's seen it or not. Okay, I just had to check
I won't go that far, but I will say Russ is, especially if he has that, when you're 23, 16, and 10, like, you're playing elite basketball. Like, that is undeniable. Like, last night I was trying to figure out, like, Russell Westbrook, best free agent since when? And then Frankie was like, DeMar DeRozan last year. But
the thing about DeMar,
I was also trying to lose my mind.
Yeah. You know what's funny is they have brought on 2 future Hall of Famers with DeMar and Westbrook, but the DeMar thing, and I don't know if we talked about it on Roundtable, never really had, I don't think he ever had his own shoe.
No.
He does not have a fan club that calls me out of shape. Like, he doesn't have that. Oh, you didn't hear about that? No, they call me Tubsters.
There was, like, people responding to Allen's tweets just saying diet.
Allen just ran a 5K literally last weekend.
I don't know.
Well, I was about to say he signed up for that maybe after the Westbrook.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They call a former D1 athlete.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They said, another Tubster.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. So I love Westbrook.
That's really funny.
But with DeMar, there were no he doesn't have the same type of moments as Westbrook, and he's just so polarizing. And that's where we're at right now.
He's only 26 years old. He just turned 26 years old, too. Yeah, which is...
But Ja is not better than De'Aaron Fox, to me.
Remember that was the huge debate?
Really I had De'Aaron and maybe this is not fair, but I had De'Aaron by default. Because, and I know he's injured now. But
you weren't here, though. There was a massive debate. There was a Ja versus Fox debate when the whole Hulu Has Live Sports thing happened. And it was like Ja fans versus Kings fans. It was a whole thing. It was like 3-4 years ago, like right before the Beam Team season. And I think that was when, was it Amin? Like, Amin got into it with the Kings fan base as a whole because he was on Team Ja.
Yeah.
So
I met him, by the way.
It's deeply rooted. It's a very deeply rooted thing that kind of is like opening up an old wound. But yeah, it creates some interesting conversations if Ja Morant does come here.
He's Frankie Cardicelli. He's Chris Watkins. They will be back next week. Be sure to follow them on social media and also the Sactown Sports app as well as Sactown Sports Instagram. And I'm trying to get us to get that TikTok and X as well. On the other side, let's keep the conversation going. Should Russ stay in the starting lineup? 916-339-1140 Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
I feel like I can say pretty confidently they're going to make a move. Otherwise, why would they
clip that?
Don't clip that.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery, embrace the company of family and friends, and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings Talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Thanks to Chris Watkins and Frankie Carticelli. Be sure to follow them on social media. Great stuff as always. And we're going to keep this thing rolling right along. In the 1 o'clock hour, we do have some NFL to get to as John Lynch speaks on Brock Purdy, when we will see Brock Purdy. When are we going to see Ricky Pearsall? I know nobody cares about anybody's fantasy team, but that brother just has a Q by his name every week. They refuse to put him on IR, and that would have opened up a roster spot. So just bizarre stuff from the Niners, just the dynamic stretching, the static stretching. Neither stretching is working for them. So in the 1 o'clock hour, we have some updates from John Lynch, who sat down with the Niners flagship. Of course, we are the Sacramento home of the Niners, to get an update there. And yeah, Thursday night football. My Raiders.
Come on, Allen. I need one.
Look, no Patrick Surtain. Okay.
Yep, he's got a. What'd you call it earlier?
I don't. Can I say? I don't know.
I don't know.
A chest injury.
Yeah.
He broke his chest.
Yeah. Pec.
A pec injury, and no Jacoby Myers. So Yeah, where to go? I have somewhere to go for prop talk, okay? And it ain't Brock Bowers, and it ain't Trey Tucker.
Is it Michael Mayer?
You'll just have to wait and see. And that's coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. But we're still rocking and rolling with the Kings right now. And we have some audio to get to, a kind of condensed version of Christie's cuts. We are going to also hear from Russell Westbrook and what he had to say just throughout the game about his rebounds. And it went viral. But first, let's hear from Doug. And then we also have Malik. And what Malik had to say is interesting. But first, we're going to break down what Doug had to say. Here it is.
You know, once players come back, I think, you know, we brought Russ in to be the backup point guard, but he has so many gifts. It's like, I mean, he played the 4. So he's going to play all over the floor because of his physicality, his downhill nature. He rebounds the basketball at a high level. But I think when we're fully healthy, he even makes us better because Russell Westbrook playing against second unit players is like, you know, it's a cheat code. So, yeah, but I mean, he's going to find his way into closing games to every aspect of what it is for us to be a winning basketball team because he's a winning basketball player.
Great stuff from Doug Christie right there. And when Keegan does come back, and I know the reevaluation window started was 4 to 6, so we're approaching 4 weeks now, believe it or not. Like I said, October, you blinked, and I drove by one of the pumpkin patches out there in Natomas. All the hay is outside the pumpkin patch now. It's over, right? And I know some places stay open through November or at least into November, but October's over now. We are looking at November, which means Keegan Murray is on the horizon at some point, and when that happens, things are going to get a little bit crunchy, if you will, when it comes to playing time, whether that's Nick Clifford. And we're going to talk about Nick Clifford in this hour because I am just thoroughly impressed by the kid. But whether that's going to affect Nick Clifford, we spent some time with the editors talking about Keon Ellis, who he's already getting squeezed out a little bit. So when it comes to Westbrook, I think it's really easy for Coach Christie to say, hey, him against the second team, that's a cheat code. Yeah, Kyle, I don't know, man. We haven't seen it. He's been such an important part of the team immediately. I want to know what that looks like. I know a lot of people have said, well, it might be Westbrook instead of Dennis Schroeder. Obviously, Westbrook is on a minimum deal, and Dennis Schroeder is getting paid $15 million. But this is the type of team where that type of stuff isn't supposed to matter. The best person and the best player is going to play. It matters a little bit. I don't know if $15 million to a minimum deal matters as much as $47 million, if you catch my drift on that.
It didn't matter when they sat down Kevin Huerter for Keon.
No, which is a great call. But Kevin, what was it, about 17 mil?
17, 18.
Yeah, that's you get past 20 mil, it gets a little bit sticky. So with that being said, should Russell Westbrook remain in the starting lineup when Keegan Murray returns? It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because right now it would be Schroeder, right? I mean, I don't know who else you squeeze out. I know somebody's typing right now, DeMar DeRozan. And Kyle, DeMar making 24, he passes that $20 million threshold.
Well, it's also, checks notes, future Hall of Famer DeMar DeRozan.
But both of them though.
With Dennis Schroeder?
No.
Hall of Famer?
No. I'm talking about Westbrook.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about Westbrook.
That makes more sense. But Westbrook's on the minimum contract. So
yes.
I guess
you bring back Keegan.
I thought you just had a great joke about Schroeder being a Hall of Famer.
Well, no, but that one, no. People were talking about that because of what he did in Euroball. But we're not talking about that right now. But if you were to discuss DeMar coming off the bench, and I know the legend of winning is smiling out there somewhere, but DeMar coming off the bench, Keegan as your 4, Russ as your 3, I think there's a conversation. Answer me this. Who has been more important to the team over the last, I don't know, this season? Who's been more important to the team this season? Russ or DeMar DeRozan?
I guess I would say Russ, but I feel like that's also the wrong question, right? It should be who has been more.
What is this, the Riddler?
But I feel like it should be who's been more valuable, Dennis Schroeder or DeRozan, because those are the two that are in contention for going to the bench.
Okay, I can get down with that. So you're admitting that Russ has been more valuable than both of them?
The DeRozan one I can debate. The Schroeder one, I don't know if I have much of it. And that's unfair to Schroeder. He's averaging like 20 points per game over the last few games.
And his assists have gone crazy lately as well.
Yeah, so yeah, I think there's a good conversation between the three. I don't know the answer to the question who's been the most valuable to the Kings because it's just been such weird lineups. I mean, they've ran, I think, 6 different starting lineups in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, I guess it's just hard to evaluate it when you don't have a representative sample, but I guess I would say, yeah, probably Russ, DeMar, and then Schroeder.
I think I would agree with you, but again, we're talking about the starting lineup because they don't win if any of them sit. They only have 3 wins, and I don't think they get those 3 wins without all 3 of them. So they've all been important, don't get me wrong.
I don't know. They probably would have beat Utah without a couple of them.
It came down to the last possession.
Wasn't that the game DeRozan was awful in, though? Like, he only had 9 points.
Well, they needed everyone. So I'm not really pressed to start Russ. I know there are some people, and we had on the guy from On Digital who said there were some people in the Kings organization that were just making sure, or they were just keeping a close eye on how things may flip if Russ's minutes change. And I saw in the morning show, Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross said that's the bigger question, not about starting, not starting. Is he going to get his minutes? Because if he's going to get his minutes, then everything is fine. So it's less about starting and more about, is Russ going to get his minutes? Let's get into those, should I say, very interesting comments from Malik Monk and what he had to say about Westbrook staying in the starting lineup. Here it is.
We needed it bad, especially in the starting unit. I feel like for the last few years, we've been starting the game pretty bad. And with him going to the starting unit, it brings a little bit more oomph. He brings a little bit more energy. So we got to fall in line.
Got to fall in line.
I feel like he didn't really know how to end that. He just kind of had the point of like, we needed to have some energy at the start of the games over the last couple of years, and then everyone else falling in line. He didn't really say he should be the starter going forward. He was just advocating for how important he's been in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying we have to start. These last couple years we have to start better. And if you're talking about the last couple years,
he said
remember,
few.
Last few years, if you do remember who was the point guard these last few years, who's in the Riverwalk now.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Well, apparently not, De'Aaron. I don't know. I mean, Malik didn't have to say that. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's got some strong opinions about Davion Mitchell.
He did not have to say that. Okay, I'm not trying to start anything, but he did not have to say that, okay?
I mean, last few years, Malik's only been on the team for a few years.
Yeah, so you trade in somebody like a Russell Westbrook who is undeniable when it comes, and I said one word, and now the phone lines are rolling. Look, man, I just played the sound. That's all I did was play the sound. But you look at that part of it, outside of the X's and O's, that is why you can look at it and say spark off the bench. It's the Malik Monk thing, but I think the Malik Monk thing on steroids because of everything that Russell Westbrook does on the glass and just from an energy perspective. You can start Dennis Schroeder, you can bring Russell Westbrook off the bench, and you'd have that spark off the bench. But on the other side of things, do you want to start out hot? And Malik, he was bringing that from an energy perspective, definitely, but from a scoring perspective. Russell Westbrook is doing it all around. I think what's funny is I'm the one getting in trouble for maybe not buying in and just trying to put a timeline, I would say, on this Russell Westbrook thing. But I would also say if you're going to do it, what did Jameis say? If you're going to do it big, then do it big then. If you're going to have Russell Westbrook on the team, then just let the brother do his thing. That's how I kind of feel. Don't try to put him in a box.
The great philosopher Jameis Winston to justify playing Russell Westbrook more minutes.
If you're going to do it, then just rock and roll. How about that?
Well, that just has been your point of the day, right? Is that, like, if you're going to compromise development of coaches and development of players,
yes,
at least let it be for wins. And wins will be quantified by what their record is at the trade deadline, because the trade deadline's all this team is going to get in terms of continuity together.
Because here's the thing. Throughout, and what? They're about to have game 9 tomorrow. Throughout the course of these next 11 games, right? 12 games, if you will, as we've been keeping an eye on the first 20 games of the season. It's a really tough stretch. And the way Russell is playing right now, and look, you're not going to get Keegan back tomorrow, but the way Russ is playing right now, we'll see what happens by the time Keegan comes back. But I'm just, it's funny to me just based on when Keegan comes back and who they have, because I think it would look worse, not that the Kings care, but I think it would look worse. I know they're paying Schroeder more, but because of how good Westbrook's playing, and we'll see how good he's playing by the time Keegan does return. But if Westbrook continues to ball out like this and Keegan comes back and then they send Westbrook to the bench, and it could be DeMar or it could be Schroeder, and then as they are playing this gauntlet of teams, they lose, right? What are they going to have to do 5 games later, Kyle? And what are the answers that Doug's going to have to come up with? Hey, you think you might want to put Russell Westbrook back in the lineup? At least if you keep him in the starting lineup, again, this is the backup quarterback thing. If you keep him in the starting lineup when Keegan returns and it doesn't work out, you can kind of use that as process of elimination. No, once you move off of that, I don't think anybody's going to go back and say, hey, you want to do it again? Because we will know whether it worked or not. You're starting him because Keegan's out. Then you bring him off the bench when Keegan gets back. And if you don't win games, you're not going to get away from this conversation is, I guess, my point. You're not getting away from this conversation.
I guess based on the way this whole thing is going to go, I feel like it's going to work itself out, because either they're never going to be healthy the whole run and we won't have to worry about it because they'll always be looking for someone to fill in. I mean, yesterday they were without their 3 best players. So I feel like either they're just never going to be healthy and it'll all work itself out, or they'll get back to being fully healthy, win a bunch, and then it won't matter who starts because clearly they'll have found some sort of value in whatever role Russell Westbrook is going to be in, or Schroeder averaging 15 to 20 and 6 or 7 assists. You know, if it's a good problem to have if everyone is still playing so well that you don't know who to take out of the starting lineup.
Right, but you have to be playing well. I'm just saying they're not going to be favored in a lot of these games. And, hey, maybe they'll make Vegas look stupid, but they haven't really made Vegas look stupid yet. And by the way, going in, they said this on the broadcast. It was a great note. If you want to feel better about the Kings, and Kyle, get the optimistic music ready. If you want to feel better about the Kings, going into last night's game, they had the toughest schedule so far in the NBA. Okay, so they were, 2-5, taking on the toughest schedule out of anyone in the first 7 games. So they're not great, but they weren't 0-7.
Yeah, I guess
they weren't healthy.
The tough part I'm compartmentalizing is, A, they still have the 14th hardest strength of schedule in the league despite this fact. The rest of the
top
way,
10.
You know, it's middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before. The lightest part of your schedule is going to be early January for a little bit, and then April, like the very end of the season.
It doesn't really matter.
Which at that point it might not matter, but as we've talked about before, and Frankie Clicks, going viral with the "they're going to make a move" quote.
I feel like I can say pretty confidently they're going to make a move. Otherwise, why would they
that?
Don't clip that.
But it's too late, Frankie. It's now all over the place. But this group is not going to make it to April. So what good is having the easy part of your schedule at the end if it's going to be a completely different team, unless that completely different team is better than the one that they currently are fielding right now, which
John Morant.
Ja Morant, Tari Eason, whoever else they could end up trading for, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, whatever they end up doing, maybe that version of the team is better, and so it's more beneficial, but I don't know how much the hard strength of schedule matters if the easy part is at the very end.
Is there any way, Kyle, you can filter, and I'm not saying to do this off the top of your head, but any way that we can filter out strength of schedule leading up to the trade deadline? Because, brother, I do not care about the strength of schedule after the trade deadline. It's all about before. Or just the strength of schedule through January.
I'll see what I can find, but I'm not sure.
You got something. You got something cooked up. Because that's the reality. Because if the strength of schedule, to your point, if they're 14, but going into up until February, they're top 5, then 14, the back end, that doesn't matter. It's all it's going to be cooked by then. So that's all that really matters there. 916-339-1140. As we continue to discuss, should Russell Westbrook stay in the starting lineup once Keegan returns? Of course, we have a couple weeks for that. Hopefully it's not too far away. But, just what he does, he takes over, and not in a bad way. He takes over. But in what he does, I just think it's going to be hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. And when you unleash and I guess the only way to put the toothpaste back in the tube is with losses, right? If you're winning games, I don't really see how you do it. And if Russ is at the helm of every game, I do want to give a shout out to Dennis Schroeder, though, because Dennis Schroeder, we talked about him and how Warrior fans kind of ragged on him because he did not play well after the Warriors traded for him. That was that DeAnthony Melton thing after DeAnthony Melton tore his ACL. But Dennis Schroeder last night, he had 7 assists, but I just want to say from the eye test, to me, that feels like what they were seeing at training camp. Dennis Schroeder was kind of, shoveling passes to people. He was getting it to players in their spots. That is the Dennis Schroeder I think everybody was going gaga over during the spring or during the training camp workouts that they had. Because that was the Dennis Schroeder that Chris Watkins said would show up. That was the Dennis Schroeder that we've seen in Eurobasket and overseas ball. That Dennis Schroeder last night, nobody's going to talk about it because it's all about Russell Westbrook. But the shooting, cool. The shooting, cool. It's a rivalry game. He was 3 of 5. We can't necessarily bank on that. And he only had 7 assists. He did have 7 rebounds as well. But it's the way that he was assisting the basketball and getting it to players in their spots. That was something I haven't seen enough of from Dennis Schroeder. So as we're having the conversation, does he have to go to the bench? Does DeMar DeRozan have to go to the bench? I will say this. Last night, he's going to get overshadowed because of how Russell Westbrook played. Last night was, I think, a version of Schroeder that a lot of us were hoping to see based on what they were.
Wasn't able to find the answer for you, although I did find that in terms of playoff probability right now, the Kings are 9th in the West. So exactly where we thought they would be.
Are you serious?
Yes. That's super early, and they have
They cannot get from that 9 seed, man.
Yeah. Currently, they have a 43% chance to make the playoffs.
43?
43.
That's pretty good.
9th best in the West. By the way, guess so they're 9th. They have the Clippers 10. They have Phoenix 11. They have Utah 12. Who do you think has worse chances than Utah?
I know who it is because they were getting roasted last night. It's the Mavericks.
The Mavericks, yes, they're at 1.2. Can you name the other 2 who are lower than the Jazz? Because the Jazz are 12, which means there's 3 teams with a worse chance to make the playoffs than the Jazz.
In the West?
In the West. You got the Mavericks, who suck. By the way, just while you're thinking, the Kings' expected win total right now, 39. So
okay.
they would beat the Vegas over-under.
Let me see here. Let me get these teams up, man.
Well, now it's going to be cheating because you're going to.
I'm just looking at the team names. Well, it's not the Warriors, right?
No, come on. Who is the worst team in the West?
The Pelicans.
Okay, yes, the Pelicans are 1. And the other one who has a worse chance than the Jazz, Ja Morant's Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Will they lose 4 straight?
Yes. Yep, that is correct. By the way, just if you're wondering, if you're curious, based on Basketball Reference's odds right now, guess what the play-in would be?
Oh, Lord.
Kings at home.
It would be Kings at home taking on, well, what? The Kings at home taking on, you said worse. So who did you just say was the 10 seed? Oh, it was the
Clippers.
So
it would be Clippers and Kings.
Uh-huh.
And the 7-8, the right to win, would be Warriors Timberwolves.
It's literally it. Because this is who they are. This is who they all are.
They're going to lose to the Timberwolves in the play-in. They're going to lose to the Kings in the or lose to the Warriors.
This is who they always will be. Okay?
Portland and San Antonio, top 6 seeds.
Yeah, not what I needed, but at least I was right on the Grizzlies. I told you the Grizzlies.
We both agreed. We knew the Grizzlies weren't going to be
told
good.
You the Grizzlies were a mess. But yeah, the Nick Clifford thing, I'm worried about Nick too once Keegan Murray gets back, because Nick has been incredible, man. He has been a complete stud muffin, and we're going to break down what Nick Clifford could be, where I tell y'all, I was wrong. You were right. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento, the stages are heating up, and Sactown Sports has your tickets to the biggest live shows coming your way. Kick things off with hometown favorite Tyler Rich, bringing that California country sound to Ace of Spades on November 22nd. Then crank it up with Spike and the Gimme Gimmes, the punk rock supergroup that knows how to throw a party, November 29th, also at Ace of Spades. Need a laugh? Don't miss comedy legend Mike Epps, live December 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. He's guaranteed to have you rolling. And keep the music going with rising country star Larry Fleet, December 6th at Ace of Spades. Smooth vocals, killer songs, and all the good vibes. Then mark your calendar for Brooks and Dunn, April 25th, 2026 at the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno. It's going to be neon lights, boots, and big hits. Catch all the action on the Sactown Sports live events calendar at SactownSports.com and keep your weekend's game time ready.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Just a little around the league before we get into this Nick Clifford stuff. Some people may be aware, but Eric Spoelstra, I guess this morning, his house engulfed in flames. And yeah, just kind of sad stuff. They were getting back from a game in Denver. I was trying to find any type of updates. I know I just saw that he is going to address the media fairly soon here, but yeah, no injuries. No injuries that were reported. Nothing has been released, at least as of a couple hours ago, as far as the cause of the fire, but just wanted to keep everybody in the loop there. And when he speaks and shares his thoughts, whether it's during this show or I'm sure during the Drive Guys, there'll be an update there. But yeah, crazy stuff just to see the videos and all of that. Is home in Florida, of course. As we discuss Nick Clifford, the rookie, and everything that he has brought to the table so far. Last night, he played nearly 33 minutes, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from three-point range. He had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, good for 12 points, and he just looks good, man. He looks good. The team shot 47.8% from 3. And the Warriors shot 39.5. The Warriors took 43 threes. The Kings only took 23. They need to take more, and that's what Doug Christie is saying. But Nick Clifford, he looks like he's going to be a dog. He just looks like a really solid basketball player that you never know, right? You never know. Maybe something really clicks for him, and he can be, maybe a shade under a star. Maybe a star, but maybe even a shade under a star. And I know when I teased, I said that I was wrong. Look, it's not that I thought he wasn't going to be good. I was just more so keeping my thoughts in the realm of, can he be an NBA player and can he help this team right now? And can he be a part of this rotation right now? And the answer is yes, 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 and yes. And we knew it fairly quickly. And that's what's so tough about Summer League, because some guys will look good in Summer League and then you'll see them against the big boys and they won't look the same. Some guys will look good in Summer League and they'll look the same against the big boys. Some things translate, some things don't. But Nick Clifford has without a doubt translated so far. And I know he's not as big as Keegan, but as a wing that can handle the basketball, because I still think right now, early on, even when he was starting, he was deferring a little bit. He only shot the ball 8 times still, but deferring a little bit, kind of just being that gritty, let me grab rebounds and get the ball to the playmakers. But he only took 8 shots in a game where Zach LaVine didn't play and Domantas Sabonis didn't play. So I'd like him to be more aggressive eventually, and that will come. It's funny when you see somebody take more threes than shots, period, and we know Nick Clifford can get to the bucket. That to me is kind of clear as far as you being a rookie or you being someone trying to find their way. Hey, I'm just kind of kicking it on the perimeter and, not necessarily grenades where you're getting it with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, but everybody else has kind of tried to do their thing. Let's find Nick on the perimeter. So that's what he is right now, which is fine because he is a rookie. But I see this dude, I would say, hopefully as soon as next year, once some of these, I would just call them seniors, if you will. Once senior year is over for DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook, and I know Zach LaVine will probably still be here, but once senior year is over, we will see this thing open up. We talked about for Keon Ellis, but definitely for Nick Clifford. He's been impressive. He's been very impressive.
I think at the very least you're looking at 2 years from now, right? Because DeRozan could technically still be back on this team next year based on his, non-guaranteed option, all that stuff. But, yeah, man, Nick, eventually once they clear out room at the 2-guard position, I think Nick would be fantastic sliding in there in kind of that like Aaron Nesmith type of role, kind of like what he did for the Pit. Now, Aaron Nesmith was an incredible 3-point shooter, and Nick's still working on that game, even though you were 5 misses away from being worried about Nick shooting at the 3. But the lengthiness, the defense, the ball movement, being able to shoot at the butter situations, as our friend Jake LaRavia called it.
Yeah,
butter situation.
Like, all of that stuff has been impressive so far. He's physical. He can dribble straight. He doesn't need the bag work, but he can dribble straight. You talked about the 5 tools over the summer of being a role player in the NBA, about dribbling straight, 3, defense, switching, things like that. And Nick seems to have a good chunk of those.
Yeah, and I know that we were talking to Keegan's pops here on the show. Keegan had worked a lot on his handle during the offseason, and I was excited to see everything that he put together. But the 530 is asking, is Nick a better ball handler than Keegan? That is an easy yes to me. That is a pretty easy yes to me. I mean, Nick can be a pseudo playmaker when you need it. That's what we saw at Summer League. You never really saw that from Keegan Murray, and that's fine. You don't have to see it from Keegan Murray. Keegan does other things. Keegan's bigger. Nick can't really guard 4s right now, and unless he has a growth spurt, I don't think that's going to be the case. So they do different things, but yeah, Nick is definitely a better ball handler than Keegan, but I would say Keegan's probably a better shooter than Nick. Although Nick is probably better at creating and shooting off the dribble than Keegan. Keegan, I still see a lot of set shots, right? And I think this is all stuff that Keegan worked on this summer, and we got robbed from being able to see to start off the season. But yeah, and I see some other comparisons coming in. 209 says, is Clifford going to be a better ball handler than Keon Ellis? He already is. I mean, Keon, he's not a ball handler. Keon has brought up the ball a couple times, but Nick, to me, is a much better ball handler than Keegan, a much better ball handler than Keon, and and not to necessarily hang on to the ball handler mantra, but he's a better playmaker, and that's what matters to me. They all go together, but yeah, Nick can play make for you. If you wanted to run, again, in the future, after senior year is over, if it ends, like Kyle said, you might get held back, right? You got to finish social studies or whatever it is. But in the future, once senior year is over, you could run a lineup with Nick and Keon, because I believe it wouldn't be your first bet, but you could run a lineup with Nick and Keon as your 2 guards because Nick can handle the basketball. Or you could throw another guard in there as well. You could run Nick, Keon, and Malik. It wouldn't be a huge 1, 2, 3, but you could do it because I believe you'd have enough playmaking between Malik and Nick Clifford. I truly do. So that is a really good note. And Kyle, you had this in, and we didn't directly address it earlier in the show, but the closing lineup that the Kings ran, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, DeMar DeRozan, Nick Clifford, and Drew Eubanks, 4 of those guys were brought on by Scott Perry. Now, I'm not saying that this was brought from up top and it wasn't Doug's decision. I'm assuming, and I believe, that it was Doug's decision, but starting to tell you what they think about the guys that have already been here. Not in a negative light. Malik has still been getting his time. We spent time already talking about Keon Ellis. But 4 of the 5 guys close it out. And obviously, you replace that with Keegan when he's healthy. You replace that with Domantas Sabonis when he's healthy, and it looks a little bit different. But even for that second unit, it is something that that we should all kind of keep an eye on in some of the moves that they've made so far. So I think that as much as we've spent time on Keon Ellis because he's not playing right now and Neek is, that's probably my line, Kyle. As much as the Russell Westbrook thing is cool and it's feel good and good for Russ, if it starts taking away from Neek Clifford's minutes, they better be winning. They better be winning. They better be in that 8 seed and get ready for the playoff revenue and the playoff T-shirts, because that's a guy to me where it's I hate to say it's not worth it, but that's the only term I can think of. Keon is a little bit different. We know what Keon is. Neek's ceiling is higher than Keon's to me, and I don't want to waste a rookie season to run a senior year like I'm talking about.
But is Neek's ceiling higher than Keegan Murray's?
No.
Because that's where I'm struggling with it, is like where I think Neek's kind of a somewhere in between is like, how often are we going to be in a world where Neek is the number 2 scoring option on the floor at any point on this team? Like, if right now I just think of him kind of in the Jake LaRavia role.
Okay.
And if he's in that role and he's subbing in because Zach LaVine is out into the starting lineup, kind of like Jake probably would have if he had been on the team, then I kind of look at it like even in those situations, you're the 4th or 5th scoring option on the floor at any point.
I'm just looking at it from a minutes perspective.
Yeah.
And once Keegan comes back, if they're still and what they said on the morning show, hey, if it like you're the mathematician, Kyle. You're the one always saying, hey, there's only so many, only so many minutes on the floor. So going back to what they said, this is from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross, as long as that minute total is in the high 20s to low 30s, you're going to get good results out of him. Let's say it's in the low 30s. That's got to come from somewhere once Keegan, that Frankie already said, Keegan playing high 30s. So this math is, I know Keegan's a 4, but this math is not adding up.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just, it's kind of a tough situation because they are, I guess the easy way to phrase it is like, they're going to find minutes one way or another if you're able to produce. And if Neek keeps playing like this, they're going to find 20 minutes for him because they're just desperate for the defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know we said that before with Russell Westbrook and him coming in, but I guess I just look at it long term. I hope that he will eventually make that move into the starting lineup, kind of like Aaron Nesmith did on the Pacers, but we're like 2 steps away from that. And it would probably mean Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan aren't on the team anymore, which is still, 2 years from now?
At most. When we return, was it nice to get a little glimpse of the future? Talking Maxime, Neek, and Devin Carter. And Jonathan Kuminga, did your thoughts change after seeing him in action after a whole bunch of nothing this summer? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs.
These lights have the most clarity.
And helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway.
anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
NBA fans, the race for the Emirates NBA Cup is on.
Let the games begin.
30 teams will start, but only 8 will advance.
Oh, he puts it in!
And only one champion will capture the cup. To finish first, they'll have to put the pedal to the metal. Who will capture the cup? Well, let's see what happens on the court.
Basketball is back.
Emirates NBA Cup Group Play continues every Friday on Prime.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, sacsuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. sacsuperstore.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Oh, man. Raiders. Where's our guy Ward? He's the big Denver guy on our Sack Chat. Ward and his Broncos, Bo Nix. It's going to be quite the game. I just don't know that it's going to be a good one, but it's going to be a game.
You believe in your Raiders at all?
No. I think the line was 9.5.
Raiders 9.5.
They are due, and you know what's so funny? That Patriots win is good. That first week of the NFL, you always overreact. At least most people do, and it just means so little because the Raiders and the Patriots have gone in completely different trajectories after that, and that might be their best win. That might be their best win this season, just based on what the Patriots actually end up doing. But I don't even know if you should count it, just based on the Patriots still trying to find their way a little bit. So we have some NFL coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. But before we head to the short-term future, talking about tonight, how about the long-term future as we discuss the Sacramento Kings and a player that was almost a king in a way, Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, we haven't said his name. He used to be a staple here on this show.
Well, except for our did he meet his revenge
That's
game
right.
or not.
And Jonathan Kuminga, 35 minutes and 35 seconds, 8 of 19 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 6 of 8 from free throw. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, good for 9 rebounds total, 3 assists, 5 fouls, 5 turnovers. He was a positive 2 on the night. He had 24 points. That was the Jonathan Kuminga experience. Look, I will say this. His three-point shot has looked great. You know, obviously the Warriors, they got nationally televised games all the time, and this was before the ESPN thing happened. But, you know, I've caught a couple Warrior games, and his three-point shot looks real. He's been working on it for a while. I follow him on Instagram. He's been working on it for a while, and it seems like he's finally started to figure it out. It's a quicker release, and if he unlocks that, it will be really good for him and that Warriors team. You know what's funny is this was really the first time, and we had John Dickinson on of KMBR. We had him on yesterday. This was the first time that Steve Kerr probably says to Jonathan Kuminga, hey, okay, you can have some fun, right? You know, when it would be lift day, when you had to lift, right? So we would do 2-a-days in college, and it would be the fun day would be beach day, where you would do biceps and things like that. And we would walk in and the trainer would say, boys, it's fun today. And that version of fun would be you got to do the fun muscles that don't necessarily help you, but it makes you feel good, right? So it was a fun day. It was a cheat day. Put it to you like that. So my wife and I, we decided, hey, we're only doing one cheat day this week. We've been buying food a little bit too much, and our fridge has plenty in it, not old shrimp, but plenty of food in it. So, hey, we got to be very careful. I don't know if we're going to do In-N-Out, what we're going to do, but we're saving our cheat day. This was Jonathan Kuminga's first cheat day. He's going to have a couple because that Warriors team is not going to be able to stay healthy. It might not always look like this. It might be him and Steph or him and Jimmy or him and, I don't know about him and Draymond, but it might be him and one of the stars as opposed to neither of them. But he's going to have, I don't know, Kyle, in 82 games, Jonathan Kuminga probably going to have about 10 cheat days, right? Would you say that?
There's going to be about 30 Jimmy doesn't play.
Yeah.
But 15 that Steph doesn't. So, yeah, I'd say about 10 where look, we're 8 games into the season and they've already had one.
Right.
So let's say about 10.
Yeah, so right around about 10. And I don't think he necessarily turned anybody away. That first half was crazy. He was balling out. That second half, he cooled off a bit. He had that last stand where he could have taken the 3. He decides to dribble in. He stops, tries to do a turnaround fadeaway that only would have brought them within 1. I don't know why he didn't shoot that 3, but I'm glad that he didn't because the Kings kind of took over from there. Yeah, man. For all of you that were watching or listening here on the home of the Sacramento Kings, 916-339-1140, did it make you feel better or worse about the Kings and their pursuit of Jonathan Kuminga? Because in the first half, I saw everybody, oh my goodness, we should have got Kuminga. This was it. I saw people saying, and to think, some fans and media members didn't want Jonathan Kuminga. You always got to throw in the media members. That's what some people do, and that's fine. And I don't know if they're talking about me or not, but
you wanted Jonathan Kuminga.
Well, yeah, I had nobody. I had go do it. Now, don't give up 2026, but go do it.
You didn't want to give up 2030 unprotected, though.
I go back and forth with him, and last night I did the same thing. That first half, let's do it. Let's do it. Where do I sign Sonic and Knuckles, Keegan, and Jonathan Kuminga? That second half, I'm looking for where he's at, like Pajemski and Buddy Hield. Where are they? The only dude playing is Will Richard.
Well, that's the other side of the coin. As much as we talk about, the Kings didn't want to undo the protections or whatever, on the Warriors side, it's like, you really didn't want to get rid of Buddy Hield? That's why you shut down the Kuminga stuff, is because you just had to have Buddy Hield?
You had to have him. He didn't even get the 14 minutes in a game with no Jimmy and no Steph and no Draymond. So, yeah, Moses Moody, if you're ranking the kind of, because this was the second timeline for the Warriors. If you're ranking the second timeline based on who popped to me, it's probably still Kuminga number one. It's tied between Moses Moody and Will Richard for number two. And yeah, Pajemski is somewhere down there.
I don't know, Alan. Based on the contracts, though, the number one pop was our guy Pool Party.
I don't even know if he was a second time. I don't know what the heck he was supposed to be.
I mean, wasn't he a 2019 draft pick?
Yeah, he was, but I'm talking about the guys on the team right now.
Yeah, I mean, Poole should still be on the team right now. He's in year 3 of that contract they gave him.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, he did his thing. I didn't leave it saying the Kings are going to regret this for years and years to come because, as the whole thing gets broken down, the Warriors, I don't want to say they weren't operating in good faith, but they weren't super thrilled to move off of him. As JD said, they're looking to move off of him for something else later in the season. That's really their approach. So I'm glad that the Kings didn't overpay, but in that first half, it did look good. It did look really good.
I'm sorry, I just am thinking about Jordan Poole now. Since leaving the Warriors, how many games do you think Jordan Poole has won? Like games that he's played in?
Well, one was against the Kings.
Yeah, one was against the Kings. So, just for reference, he's played in 153 games since leaving the Warriors. How many of those do you think he's won?
I mean, I don't want to say a ridiculous. What is it, like 40?
It is 31.
Wow.
Jordan Poole has won 31.
Hey, he got that ring though.
While making...
Yeah.
Wow, so Jordan Poole is making $2 million per win since signing that deal with the Warriors.
Look, you got it's not a bad life. You got your ring out of the way. You were a part of they don't win that ring without Jordan Poole, and now he just gets to be a chucker for the rest of his career. I'm kind of in. And he got paid a ton of money.
But he loses. He gets to be a chucker and loses.
He'll find his way. He'll find his way back. Once this contract is done, he will get properly valued, and he'll be a 6-man somewhere.
Do you think he makes it back to the Warriors?
No.
No? Okay. No. I was going to say, who would last longer the second time, him or Draymond?
But I'll tell you what, the content out there after that punch, I mean, you talk about, Kyle, we got to do our rundowns. And look, Sacramento has been, the Kings, they give us plenty, but there was no rundown.
Oh my gosh. I mean, 90 days of Kuminga watch.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but then a player just punched another player on video.
Yeah.
And got suspended.
I'm like, I can do this for 6 hours. 2 of them are just calls. 916-339-1140. Speaking of calls, if you want to be a part of the conversation. 1 o'clock hour coming up next. Ja Watch is hot. Ja Morant watch as the Grizzlies lose again. Plenty to break down there, and we will get into what John Lynch had to say about the San Francisco 49ers. Now it's Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a win in New York, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey had another big game, 106 yards rushing. Mac Jones, also a big game. He threw for 235 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the victory. San Francisco with the win improves to 6-3. Upcoming, it's a huge game for the Niners on Sunday. They take on first place LA. Catch the game right here on Sactown Sports 1140, beginning at noon on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
One more hour with you. See, Kyle, 12:59. See, we break on time.
Don't make me go back to the break before that.
Look, we break on time. I was driving in today, and Dave, they broke so late. I was just cracking up saying, this contest, we got in the bag.
So if we're creating odds here, we've got Allen Stiles Show penciled in -400.
Yeah.
The Drive Guys plus, let's say, 350, and then the Morning Show plus 20,000.
Yes.
Just no chance.
There's
the Morning
zero
Show.
chance. Zero. He cannot help himself.
No, Dave does it on purpose. I mean, it's just his style. He breaks when he wants to break. If he's got something he wants to say, he'll break 4 minutes late.
So we have some information for you, and a lot happened last night with the Grizzlies. They lose again. They lost to the Rockets. The Rockets are 5-2. Kevin Durant was chirping at T. Morant, Ja Morant's daddy, and said something to the effect of, "This is your last weekend here. We know that you want to get out of here." He said, "Your son don't want to be here. We know it's your last weekend. Enjoy your time." So we know KD loves to chirp with people that are watching the game. Him and Westbrook are similar in that fashion. They both like doing it. But, yeah, the Ja Morant thing is not going to go away. We have, I don't know if they're conflicting reports, but at this juncture, the Grizzlies still are saying that they want to continue with Ja. For all the sources we've heard from who believe Ja Morant has indeed shifted into that mode, there has yet to be a credible murmur from the Memphis Grizzlies side to suggest that they would even entertain the idea to trade their most popular player. That's from Jake Fisher of the Stein line. But yet and still, it is being talked about, and not just here, but everybody's talking about it. Now, this is different than the De'Aaron thing, because the De'Aaron thing, it got out pretty quick.
Well, they wanted it out.
Yeah, and that was the whole there were a lot of conversations that I had just with the Kings and I guess some version of damage control, and you're dealing with Rich Paul. Because I don't think Ja's on clutch. Is he? I feel like we would know.
Yeah, I feel like we'd know.
Yeah,
right
I don't
away.
think he's on clutch. So it was, hey, well, we don't want this to get out before somebody else puts it out. So the De'Aaron thing was a little bit different. This is how you're supposed to do it, if I'm being honest. This is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to tell everyone it's a no, no, no until it gets very close. That is not what the Kings did with De'Aaron Fox. So there are a lot of murmurs, and I'm not buying it that the Grizzlies won't move Ja. Like I said yesterday, I'm also not buying that they're trying to sell low. And the value right now, from what we're seeing, is pretty low. What's up, Kyle?
This is never a great sign. Let me just make sure I've got this right. Ja Morant recently left Lyft Sports Management and is now for a firm called Internal Locus of Control, which is headed by Phil Morant, his uncle.
I was going to say, is it his pops?
It's his uncle, yes. Phil Morant is the chief managing director of the new Memphis-based advisory firm, Internal Locus of Control.
What do you think teams dislike more? Clutch or family? It's definitely family, right? As soon as I said that, it's family.
Yeah, most definitely it's family. Because at least Clutch, like, they understand the rules of what it is that they're doing. And I'm not saying that Uncle Phil or Uncle Dennis don't know what it is, but the family is willing to step in the mud a little bit more than these agents who are working to protect relationships.
Yeah.
But I'm reading this story from The Athletic in September. Neither Helms, which is the sorry, I gotta read this. So Phil Morant is the chief managing director of the new Memphis-based advisory firm. His nephew is Ja Morant, its first client. Uncle Phil and Ja's mother are both part of the firm that was started and run on a day-to-day basis by former head of Grizzlies security, Kevin Helms. Neither Helms nor Ja's family members are certified player agents with the NBA. They are rather the first employees of an advisory firm that states it will help athletes manage their off-court business opportunities, but will not be involved in contract negotiations. So Ja is negotiating his own contract.
Oh, my Lord.
With the advice of his family and the Grizzlies' former security guard.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, at least Kuminga got his agent out there, because I was thinking same thing with Clutch, with baseball free agency starting in less than an hour at 2 p.m. Scott Boras. And everybody says, oh, Scott Boras is going to get you. But you got to think these teams, they know that. They know they're dealing with Clutch. It's a little bit different than, all right, so you're not the agent, but you kind of are. 916-339-1140. AC says he's got a story about Russell Westbrook and his wife from yesterday's game. AC, what you got for us?
Hey, Alan. By the way, your Hollywood good looks are in danger because Kyle's up close on the microphone and the camera. He's just a handsome-looking dude.
Oh, look, man.
Thank
AC. Look, he's got a boyish charm to him. All right?
Doesn't have your cough, though. Okay. But anyway, my wife doesn't. We actually met at a Kings game way back in the day.
Okay.
And I've tried to bring her along with paraphernalia and things like that. But she's never really, quote unquote, been a Kings fan per se, right? She's always a Players fan. So she liked Steve Nash for a long time. But she disclosed to me recently that she likes Rusty, she calls him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I told her, I went to the game last night with my newfound family that I discovered through Ancestry. And I found out when Russ got a triple-double for the game, and I told my wife, and she goes, the rest of that team should feel pretty bad about themselves with an old guy getting a triple-double and being the best player on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, look, Russ is not a normal 36-year-old. But, AC, we got to go back for just a hot second, because my mom, she's on this Ancestry thing too. So you found people on Ancestry, and now you're kicking it?
Dude, you can't believe this. I actually discovered after 60 years my biological father was Portuguese through Ancestry, and his family, part of him lives here. I took my freaking uncle, his younger brother who's still alive, to the game last night.
And you had met the uncle after doing this Ancestry?
3 months ago.
And now you guys it's your uncle?
Yeah, so I took him to an A's game. He's 79, and I took him to an A's game, and he's very viable and all that stuff. And it's just kind of cool because I'm getting to hang out with him. And obviously my biological father is gone, but his brother's still alive and kicking. So
wow. AC, thanks for the call. That's great stuff. That is I wonder how often that happens. Because my mom, she loves doing the ancestry thing. She just did it again, right? I think 2 weeks ago. And she's just sending me this stuff. And I'm up because of the baby. But I'm like, why are you up? Right? She's sending it 1:32 in the morning.
Oh, she just doesn't sleep?
No. But that's where I get it from. To me and my sister at 2 in the morning. And it's just percentages, right? Just an ancestry screenshot. I'm thinking, what am I looking at here?
And I guess it's for AC. It's one of those situations where finding a secret family on Ancestry is a good thing.
But I don't know, what that next step is, right? You get the Ancestry, and then I guess it's probably another link where you say, "Hey, is there anybody that's linked to me around here?" Now I'm wondering how often stuff like that happens.
Well, yeah, if you pay more, it'll show you your lineage all the way back to like the 1700s or something like that.
And AC had an uncle that he did not know about in the Sacramento area. That's how I understood it.
Exactly. I mean, we don't know enough about AC's background to know how that kind of came about.
Oh, that is incredible. And then he led the show saying that you're handsome. I don't know what filter you have on the camera.
I don't know, but thank you, AC.
Yeah, there you go. Kyle, that's...
Like I said, it's one of those situations where learning about family you didn't know about on Ancestry went great. Because normally that's not the story about people who find out about family on Ancestry.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one, but yeah, good on AC. That's cool stuff, man. That's cool stuff. I guess the last thing is just you're looking just to see who you are, and then it probably prompts you saying, "Hey, there's somebody that matches you in your vicinity." That's my guess as to how it happens. And you say, "Oh, okay," because clearly I don't think he knew that his dad had a brother. That's what it sounds like.
He said biological dad, so I'm not sure kind of how the relationship worked with that. But I guess now you have your family that was probably all in the area the whole time, but you just didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That?
I'm reading,
and all that from Russell Westbrook.
All that from Russell Westbrook. I'm reading this one off the cuff, so pray for me. I just signed up for Ancestry from the 209. I found my aunt that I never knew about and a bunch of family history that I never knew about. Pretty wild. They go on to say, that aunt that I found through Ancestry, she reached out to me and told me to go on research.org, and that really helped me find my family tree back 7 generations to Europe. So this is a thing, I don't know, maybe me personally, and maybe because my mom is doing it, maybe when I get, when I get a little older and my kids get a little bit older, but I don't have that itch right now. Maybe it's because my mom is doing it for me, but I don't have that itch, and I don't have a very big family. I think I know enough about my family that I don't find myself, when my mom sends it to me, look, man, it's nice to know what parts, I'm just going to say it. It's nice to know what parts of Africa that I'm from, but, it's cool. Cool.
You can only go back but so far before you're like, I'm just not really interested.
I mean, it is interesting because I have a high percentage of Benin and Togo, and I have really not a lot of Nigeria at all, whereas my little sister has majority Nigeria and no Benin and Togo, which is really random just based on how this stuff works. So, yeah, that was cool.
You're saying just based on how the genetics ended up?
It's the percentages that I got at 2:30 in the morning.
Got it.
That's just what it is. So that was cool for sure. But that's kind of where, okay, cool. Now I know, right? I guess I could go out there and check it out.
Maybe it'll be one of those things where once you are kind of the patriarch of your family's lineage, that it will be more interesting to you.
If my kids are asking, what's our deal? Okay, well, I know my mom's from Panama. I know my dad's from Chicago.
And
there you go.
Beyond
and Benin and Togo.
Yeah.
There you go.
You could show them the percentages.
Here you go. Here. I got this from your grandmother at 2:30 in the morning 10 years ago. So here you go.
Here's your percent, or here's our family's percentages. You got 50% of this combination.
There you go. So that's all. And now we have all these texts coming in, and Kimberly saying, I have 2% Benin and Togo. Hey, shout out. Shout out to you, Kimberly. So great stuff from AC. Okay, it's nice to kind of break things up. We've been going super hardcore with the Kings, and we love it. It was a great night, and it was kind of a culmination of Russell Westbrook's career. And to do that in a Kings jersey, that's nothing to sneeze at. And I know I can come off as cynical or sarcastic sometimes, but look, the reality is what he has done. And to AC's initial point about his wife and the fact that this is the 36-year-old is the one putting up a triple-double. It's crazy impressive. And I'll put it to you like this. When we take away the championship culture and the ring culture and things like that, Russell Westbrook, when it comes to athletes that played in the NBA, I don't know, Kyle. I mean, he's got to be, especially when you obviously include the longevity, top 20, top 25 athlete in the NBA, and just how he was able to manipulate his athleticism into an 18-year career. I got to say he's a top 50 athlete in the NBA ever, and I really want to say about top 30 athlete.
I mean, I'd say he's a top 50 basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, he made the NBA All-75 team, so that's not a question. I mean, there's only...
Right. We already know he's right at 75.
Yeah. I mean, there's only, I think it's 40-something players that have ever won the MVP in the NBA. And we're going all the way back to, like, George Mikan days. Like, there's 40-something players that have ever won an MVP, and he's one of them. Scoring title, rebounding guard, all-time leading rebounder for guards. He has assist titles. I made the case beforehand, like Russ might be the most accomplished basketball player without a championship ring.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can go down the list to Karl Malone's and everything else. Like, I get it. There's other people too, but you could at least make the case Russell Westbrook might be the most accomplished basketball player who didn't win a championship ever.
And he's not done yet.
Well, see, that's the other interesting part, because you said earlier, like, there was never a question about the ability. It was more so about the role.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at it like, no, I didn't really think Russell Westbrook in the year 2025 was still going to be able to put up a triple-double in a win against, shorthanded or not, an NBA team.
Maybe he didn't have a triple. I'm assuming he didn't have one in Denver last season, but when they were injured and said, Russ, save us. Obviously, he had those two situations where it didn't go in the right direction, but he did have a couple games where he locked in and he went in the way back. Talking about ancestry, he went in the way back machine and did his thing. So I knew he could do that. I didn't know. Now, this stretch has been crazy, but Denver, and you know what's maybe a little bit scary about it, Kyle, and why I have cause to pause when Keegan comes back, is because Denver did what the Kings are about to try to do. Hey, Russ, we don't need 100% Russ when Keegan comes back. But if there's another injury, whatever it is, then we're going to need you to turn up. And I don't know how much Russ likes having to turn it on and off, because he only got one switch. And it's, okay, well, now you only need me for 20 minutes. What did he play last night? He played 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, he should have went into this not thinking he was going to get 35 minutes a night, but I don't know. I've said it about 3 times today. Putting the toothpaste back in the tube is not easy to do.
Yeah, I'd have to look up the numbers with the Nuggets, but the last time I remember Russ having a game like this was on the Clippers in 2023, where Harden and Kawhi got hurt in the playoffs. And it was like him and Norman Powell were just putting up like crazy numbers. And they lost in 5 games in the series. They weren't even in it. I'm trying to find those numbers real quick.
Somebody is saying, 530 is saying Jokic and Westbrook both had a triple-double in the same game last year. I can believe it.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but I'm sure it did happen.
It wasn't against the Kings?
It sure felt, probably was. No, the Kings was the game where Jokic had...
Yes, I know. Your favorite game ever.
Yeah, the greatest stat line ever. Maybe the greatest game ever played. But yeah, Westbrook in that playoff series for the Clippers, he had a game where he had 37 points on 29 shots in a playoff game for the Clippers. They lost to the Suns, and then the next game he went 3 for 18 from the field. But The Clippers got to a point where, they had no Kawhi, they had no Harden, similar to the Kings having no Sabonis, no Levine, no Keegan Murray. They got to a point where they were like, hey, our best strategy is to let Russ cook.
But now I'm wondering, is there a conversation? Because when he plays, that's the thing. There's two conversations. There's the amount of playing time and there's the how you play. That latter part, don't waste your time, right? The conversation that needs to be had is, hey, Russ, and maybe this conversation already happened. Hey, things are probably going to look a little bit different when Keegan comes back, but maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. You don't have a conversation if you're planning on benching Schroeder or DeRozan anyway.
As long as he keeps shooting that thing from three, there's not much of a problem.
And by the way, that has been rough for DeRozan. He only took one last night. I thought he was going to go. It seems like he's going the other direction. This was last season. It felt like it was his first chance to kind of turn up and say, hey, I'm going to start doing the Vince Carter thing when I get older. Even Blake Griffin for a little bit. Hey, I'm going to shoot threes because I have to shoot threes. It's still early in the season, but I thought DeMar DeRozan, if it was going to be flip-flopped, I would have thought DeMar DeRozan would be doing what Westbrook is doing from three. I know he's always shot the corner three well, but yeah, not to switch subjects too much, but I was hoping to see better three-point shooting from DeMar.
So just for reference, DeRozan right now is shooting 23%.
I was going to say, brother, there's no way he's close to the threes.
23% on 1.6 attempts per game, which for reference, both of those are his lowest since his final year in San Antonio.
Interesting.
And in San Antonio, Greg Popovich, and I think this is one of those moments where it felt like Popovich maybe missed where the game was going. Popovich told him, don't shoot threes. You don't need to shoot threes. You don't need to shoot threes. And he was at 1.2 attempts per game on the Spurs. Mm-hmm. And then he got to Chicago and he started shooting some more threes and he was an all-star. So it's good for him to just shoot it, but he's just not getting into any rhythm, and it's reverting back to what it looked like in San Antonio at the end, where San Antonio was saying, hey, should DeMar DeRozan come off the bench to make room for Vassell's and Keldon Johnson's and everything else because the shot wasn't
still on the team.
Well, those guys were young at the time.
They're not much better now.
Vassell, I don't know.
There's just the same guy to me. If you told me, Allen, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who's who, I'd say I don't know.
Vassell and Johnson,
and I don't care.
Devin Vassell, 15 points a game this year.
Cool.
Shooting 40% from the field.
Cool.
He's 25, so he's still younger than almost everyone on the Kings.
De'Aaron's coming. De'Aaron's coming back. Okay, Elizabeth. All right, he's on his way back. Can we play those sounds, please?
Yeah, let me grab that real quick.
You need to have those front and center for the next 4 months.
Oh, Lord!
What's the other one? That's what I said last night. That's what I said last night when Russ got a triple-double at 36. At 36 years old, I just sat there and all I could say was Mehame Mahubaha. That's all.
I also love that the chat line is now just a blend of Russell Westbrook takes and their ancestry histories.
Yeah.
What a great show.
This is from Rob M. Russ is a nice story, but the Kings have no future with all these old guys on the roster and not a single young player who can lead them to a championship. I can't get excited about them. That's from Rob M. Now, that is what I thought I'd see more of last night, right? Now, I think a lot of people wanted to just enjoy the moment. That moment is going to disappear, even if you don't feel like Rob. Even if you are very excited about what happened with Russ, that's all probably going to go away if they don't take care of business against the Thunder. Now, if it's another close game, you never know, and they did just play the Thunder close. I'm pretty sure Chet will be playing this time. So is Russ going to be guarding Chet? Who knows? But that is what I expected to see more of. But I was, pleasantly surprised. And that's not a negative on Rob, because Rob is not really wrong. He's not. Right? I can't say that Keegan can lead the Kings to a championship. I guess I can't say that he can't, but we don't have some 22, 23-year-old stud muffin like some of these other teams have. So I think that's how a lot of people do feel, Rob, but they put that aside for a night where you beat the Warriors because everyone can't stand the Warriors. Craig in Wisconsin says, hey, guys, what about Russ as a top 5 motor of all time? Kobe, Garnett, and then who? Thanks. That's Craig in Wisconsin. I don't even care who the other 4 are. He is top 5. And that's another reason I think Kings fans, not just Kings fans, because I talk about my pops, and my pops is a troll, right? So we live in the Bay Area, and all of his coworkers, of course, are Warrior fans. My dad can't stand the Warriors, okay? Not for any reason other than all of his coworkers and his friends like the Warriors. So that's the type of guy he is. He's big on motor. Now, he's interesting because he grew up in Chicago, so he's obviously a Jordan guy, but he did like LeBron. He likes the big burly. He's 5'10". He claims he could dunk back in the day. It's like the Wilt Chamberlain 100 game. I never seen it. I asked my uncle. I never seen it. That's
never
all
happened.
He was a baller. He could shoot, but he tried to tell me, Al, no, I could dunk back in my day. Okay, dude. We'll never know. But he likes the physical nature of the game. He likes the dunking. He does not like the finesse Steph Curry shoot threes thing. And he would always say, I like Westbrook more than Steph. I think Westbrook is better than Steph. And Steph has a great motor, don't get me wrong. But I think there is a style of play, and I don't want to separate this into generations, but I think there is a style of play that a lot of people, maybe that are slightly older, feel like the game is missing. And when Russ brings that to your team, it's just infectious. It's just infectious. 916-339-1140. Casey wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Casey? What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
So, I was thinking, why did Westbrook want to come to the Kings? Maybe there wasn't any other options for him, but now that I see it, Westbrook knew what he was doing all along. He knew that the Kings don't develop their young players. Mm-hmm. They're trying to win. And once he got in the door and started getting his hustle out there and putting up his numbers, that he was going to be playing 30 to 35 minutes a night for the whole season. And he just wants to get out there. He's been called a stat pattern for his career. He wants to get out there and put up numbers as opposed to winning. And that's exactly what's happening. He knew when he came here he was going to get the minutes that we didn't think he was going to get.
Well, they did win last night, Casey. They did win last night, and they did beat the Bucks. So I understand where you're coming from. We have to wait and see. And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you, Casey. You are spot on, though. Now, we still haven't seen, because what normally happens is when a guy balls out, we'll see on the other side, actually, this team was interested and it didn't work out. Do they look stupid? We haven't seen that yet. But I'm going to discuss why Casey is spot on with his assessment. Not necessarily the winning thing, we'll see, but why Casey is spot on and why this was extremely calculated from Russell Westbrook. And we got Thursday Night Football to talk about. And the Niners. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at MaidaSubaru.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., wanted to follow up on what Casey said. We had a lot to do in 30 minutes. This is where Kyle, okay, it's called the witching hour in, end zone or red zone.
It's the witching quarter hour.
What is it for us? We call it crunch time or something, where so much has happened in the show that we have 3-4 benchmarks and things to get to, and Kyle starts sweating because we do not have a lot of time.
This has only been a recent development, too.
I love it. It's because the season started.
Yeah, because we have so many benchmarks now. So there's not that many today. You just want to talk baseball, so we were going to talk baseball at some point. We still got this Niners.
We got Niners.
We've got a Kyler Murray or no segment that might have to get kicked to tomorrow.
That was already tomorrow.
And then we've got prop talk for Raiders and Broncos.
Yeah.
And we still talk to Whitey.
And we still got to talk to Whitey. But I wanted to kick off this segment by finishing my answer to Casey and why he was spot on with his assessment. Not necessarily the stat padding per se, but, as we say, we're going to get into a little bit of football. I'll use a football example. Maybe a month ago or so, it came out that the Ravens called for Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur Sanders said, I think I'm solid, right? And at that point, he knew that a couple other teams would be calling for him. So when the Browns called, he said, yeah, I'm going to go. Now, Shedeur, who is on the complete opposite end of his career than Russell Westbrook, they do share some parallels because they were looking for the best opportunity. And when it came out that Shedeur Sanders turned down. I think it was the Ravens and the Eagles. It was both of those teams.
But during the draft, they wanted him to come in, and he said, nah, I'm straight.
Yes, and everybody said, why wouldn't you do that? It's the Super Bowl champs. It's a multiple-time MVP in Lamar Jackson. And I was of the mindset, what are we talking about? It's about playing. And Shedeur is probably going to start at some point this season because nobody knows if Dylan Gabriel is good. They ended up trading Joe Flacco, and Shedeur knew, it's a bad situation in Cleveland, but I feel like I'm going to get a chance in Cleveland versus going to Baltimore. And someone said, well, Lamar's been injured. Cool. You're a placeholder, right? You're auditioning to then get moved to a place like the Browns versus already being in their system. And the same thing with the Eagles. They know who their quarterbacks are for the next probably a decade. So bringing it back to Russ, we still don't know if any other teams called, but if a Blazers called Russ or they wouldn't be the Nuggets, but if a Blazers called Russ, if a Clippers called Russ, and I know he's already, been down that road.
There's not that many teams to pick from.
No, there's really not, right? Or the Spurs. How about the Spurs? Hey, you can come in, be a vet guy. We already have our dudes, and we have 14 guards, but come in, be a vet piece. Teams like that.
You can play the Jordan McLaughlin minutes.
Sure. Russ, and we don't know this for a fact, but Russ, knowing who he is and what he wants to bring to the table, I can still put up triple doubles. What the hell am I going to do on the bench? I could help you win. I could help you do this thing. I'm not necessarily at the point where I'm just trying to chill. Right now, coming off of where he was before he got to the Nuggets, a lot of people just didn't know what he was going to be able to do. But having those spurts on the Nuggets, Russ probably reignited it in himself. I could still do this thing at a high level. So it was completely, and maybe the agent never got anywhere because, hey, Russ is looking for at least 20 minutes a night. So if you ain't coming with 20 minutes a night, he's going back to the yacht. He's just going to go back and shoot basketball on the yacht. We're waiting it out until we're getting something like 20 minutes a night, which is why that Sacramento Kings conversation continued to just float around. Because Russ, before he even knew Keegan Murray was going to be out, look, man, it's the Kings. And I'm not comparing the Kings to the Browns, but it's the Kings. Anything can happen. I know they got a log jam, and no, this is no disrespect, but let's take a trip into the mind of Russell Westbrook here. Okay, let me see who they got.
Oh God, that's a dangerous journey.
Let me see who they got on their. Let me see who they got on their roster here. Okay, so they needed a point guard. They've been trying to trade Malik Monk. They don't even play Devin Carter, who did not play last season. Keon Ellis is a guard, but don't handle the basketball. You got Nick Clifford, who's coming in, but he's more of a wing type deal. And they just signed Dennis Schroeder to a what? To 3 years, 15 million a year. We pack our bags, sweetie. We're going to Sacramento. I mean, it is the most obvious thing ever. So I think Casey was spot on in that assessment. Russ knew, now he didn't know Keegan would go down and that he'd be playing power forward, but Russ don't give a you-know-what about a position. Russ is looking at this team saying, yeah, there's no way I'm not getting 20 minutes on that team. There's no way. That's where we're headed.
And against all odds, he was right.
And he was right.
Despite being a minimum non-guaranteed contract.
Yeah, he was right. He was right. So, Casey, I won't agree with you as far as Russ just wants a stat pad type deal, but I will agree with you that he knew he would get the best opportunity. There were certain teams where he can go. And this is what I said last night, by the way. We got some calls coming in, and we want to sneak you in before crosstalk. But this is what I said last night that got me in trouble with I had to mute it. I can't even lie to y'all. I had to mute it because this got me in trouble with the Russell Westbrook fans. And they said I was, it was a backhanded compliment. This is what I said. It is clear as day why Westbrook wanted to join the Kings. The roster has holes, but is still respectable. It's probably the only non-tanking team that will just let him legitimately do whatever he wants. He's been balling. Just got to turn them into wins. And that's before the game ended, I believe. Let me check the time. I got to be careful here because I muted it. I don't want to see all these people. This is from, 8:44. I think the game was probably over or almost over. And Westbrook fans got mad at me for that. But that's how I felt about it. This is a very specific situation where Russ can be with his boys, people his age. He doesn't got to be with a bunch of dudes from the Hornets that are 10 years younger than him. And he still gets to do his thing because it's Sacramento, and he looked at this roster and said, oh, I got 20. I see 20 right here. I don't know who it's coming from, but I got at least 20.
I mean, now it's 30.
Now it's 30. So you're right on that, Casey, but yeah, I'm not going to say the whole stat pad thing. I'm not going to say that per se. But he did know that he was going to get the most opportunity here in Sacramento, or he had a feeling, and he was right. Let's get to Louie, wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Louie? How you been? What you got for us?
Man, this Casey guy disrespecting Russell Westbrook. What's he talking about, man? His game has always translated to winning basketball. I mean, there's not a ring on his finger, but we're talking, I mean, like you said, we're Sacramento. We want to see playoff basketball. That's what we want to see. Let's not put Russell Westbrook in the category of stat padding. He's amazing. No other player can do it. And he makes winning plays. He won the game for us last night.
Yeah. No, and like I said, I was not going, Louie. I was not going with the stat padding thing. But yeah, that has been a thing that has followed Russell Westbrook for years. And to be fair, there were moments, right, when you saw kind of on the Thunder, and I don't want to get in trouble for this, but on the Thunder with Steven Adams, where Russ would kind of just, he would get rebounds and, okay, Russ got another rebound. Sure did look like Steven Adams was close enough. That type of stuff, okay. But as far as Russ and being a playmaker, yeah, Russ definitely makes winning plays. And he did it against the Bucks, and even just the fouling of Giannis, he did it against the Bucks. So we get that. We get that. I hear what you're saying, Louie, but I understand why some people feel that way about the triple double, the empty calories. I think it always goes back to who's on the team, right? And the teams that Russ has been around. I don't think he's never hindered a team in order to get stats. I don't think though. Now even yesterday, or was it? Yeah, yesterday I did see people saying Russ had, how many turnovers did he have yesterday? Russ had these turnovers. He had 3 because he was hunting that 10th assist. That's what some people were saying. I'm not saying that. And to be fair, when I watched the game, and I've accused Trae Young of this, when I watched the game, I did not see that because the way Russ plays, I can't tell the difference. I cannot tell the difference, okay? So I did not see that with Russ. But some people did. So there are some people that felt like how Casey felt. And not just in general, but also even last night. 916-339-1140. Let's fire through these calls before we get to Whitey Gleason. Let's start with TC and Ken, then we got you next. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Hey, man, look, check it. Hey, just, Russ need to be in that starting lineup. So to answer that question, because I'm going to keep it simple, we ain't got enough time. The starting lineup moving forward, even when Keegan comes back, right? So we got, we got Schroeder, Westbrook, Levine at the 3, Keegan at the 4, and Domas at the, let me back up a little bit. Schroeder, Westbrook, Levine at the 3. Never mind. I'll call y'all tomorrow. I got to think about it again, Alan.
All right. All good, TC. Ken, close us out with the calls. What you got for us?
Hey, I'm just going to say, man, you got to stay motivated, man, with the starting lineup. You got to stay motivated, man, with Westbrook. Hey, man, Westbrook didn't come to the squad, man, because of his age, man. I'm hoping he came to the squad, man, to help us win, man, to show the young cats, man, in the locker room, man, the ways to win, the way to play like a professional, work ethic, all that stuff, how to be a how to be a Hall of Famer, man, when you're on the floor. So, can't think about Westbrook coming here, man, just for the formality of just playing.
No, I got you, Ken. I got you. And by the way, Ken, a good note on that. I was talking to Frankie Cardicelli, who was in the building, and he said there were multiple times last night where Russ was talking to multiple young players, coaching them up. It was Maxime Reynaud. It was Nick Clifford as well. So come to be a mentor, but also come to win basketball games. And I think he did. That's why, don't get it twisted. So I got you on that one, Ken. We're going to try to sneak one more in, I think, Kyle. Kyle is on it. He's checking it out right now. He is double checking. Kyle, you just let me know if we should patch them through. Kyle, we got one more? We got Jerry? Sherry. Let's get to Sherry. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Sherry? What you got for us?
Hey, I just want to say I was at the game last night, and one thing I'm noticing is the IQ, the playing IQ on the floor is amazing, and it looks better than other teams. The seasoned vets, they don't make rookie mistakes, and you can tell they know what they're doing.
Great stuff, Sherry. Thanks for the call. And I love the feel good. I really do. We're going to see how Whitey Gleason feels about the feel good, and we have 8,000 other things to talk about. Somebody says call it the Fast 30. I like that. Maybe the Dirty 30. We'll think of something. That's from West Sac Noah. Shout out West Sac Noah. Whitey Gleason to join us to close the show and do a bunch of stuff that we don't have time to do. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were.
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sales signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ends 12/27.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. All of them top quality, hand-selected by their general manager, Chuck Dean. You can see for yourself their huge selection at SacSuperstore.com with the lowest prices and the best car buying experiences anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Allen Stiles
You could join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
What's his age again? How old is Russell Westbrook? Allen, how old is this guy?
36.
Wow. Gonna be 37 soon if I'm not mistaken.
Whitey Gleason joins us. Whitey, hey, how's it going?
Good. What a win last night, huh?
Yeah, they were running some great stuff last night,
They do. Yeah. Running, not emphasizing that DHO as much with Domas out. Yeah. Getting it done. The offense is not an issue with his team, Allen, as you well know.
What are you doing with the win last night? Are you just putting it into a shelf of feel good?
I'm all in on the current plan as long as that's where they are. You know, if that's what we're doing. Okay, let's see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's this weird thing where it could Russell Westbrook be the guy, and this is to a lesser degree what I was thinking as far as Ja Morant was concerned when we were talking about come out here and be the villain. As bad as people talk about the Kings, and I'm just talking about the national media, out of all the people, could Russell Westbrook, I mean, last night was a worldwide wob. I mean, it was an extravaganza across the NBA. Could Russell Westbrook be the guy that makes the Kings a feel-good team in the national eye?
Here's my theory on Russ. The last few teams he's been on, the teams have asked him to kind of take a step back. We want you coming off the bench. You know, you're not who you used to be, and that's okay. We want you to help this way and that way. And I think Russ probably felt all along, I can still do everything I did. That's what you want? Okay. And now on this team, I think he realizes, all right, it's full on Russ. You guys need that. You guys are trying to win. Russ probably figures that he could lead them to the number 1 seed in the West all by himself. That's just how he's wired.
Oh, yeah. Of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is. And that's why I think this is going to get interesting, and I don't know that I don't mean it in the way of a drama or anything like that.
That's exactly what you mean, Mr. Instigator.
No, I'm just saying when Keegan comes back, we will see what happens. Because I don't know how you squeeze Russ out the way he's playing right now.
No, you can't. He's playing great.
You know, and I know Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross on their show said,
who and Jason Ross? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's your guy. Your guy, Carmichael Dave.
Carmichael Dave. Okay. Yeah.
High 20s to low 30s as far as the minutes for Russ. If he's getting that, doesn't matter if he starts or not. okay, but then I start looking around, and this is where we got to with how well Nick Clifford has played. Then I start looking around saying, okay, well, the math is going to have to start to add up here because Keegan is going to be playing over 35 minutes a night as well. So the Russ experience, to me, let's see what happens by the trade deadline.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting how Coach Christie answered a question about that last night. Did you catch that?
Yeah, we played it.
Yeah, where he's like, he's going to finish and he's going to be part of everything we're doing. And to me, it's like he was trying to lay the groundwork for maybe the day when Russ ain't starting. We hope he's okay with that.
Yes, and, if they're losing, this gets sticky. I actually was of the mindset, Whitey, of maybe you just continue to start him. And I'm not saying they're going to lose or not, but at least once you've done it, if it doesn't work, you can say you've done it, because I compared it to Shedeur Sanders and Cam Newton, a lot of these, Johnny Manziel. Johnny can't be a backup, not because he's not a good quarterback, because we don't want to deal with the circus. You have him there every game you lose. It's going to be, well, what about Russ? Well, what about Russ? If you started out that way and say sit Schroeder, and then, hey, it's not working out, then at least you can say, hey, we tried it and it didn't work, so now we can put it away.
Yeah, right now it definitely is not a problem. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But they're record-wise tied for the 10th spot, right?
Yeah. Well, and they have the 9th best odds to get into the playoffs. Look, you got to get Keegan back. And I know we're in November now, and it blinked in October. I blinked in October is over. So I know we're in November now, and Keegan will be reevaluated soon. I think we're coming up on 4 weeks. But we can have that conversation when we have that conversation. Let's see what happens tomorrow night.
And the youngsters played well. So it's everybody wins. Everybody got what they wanted.
There's one person not winning.
Who's that?
Pajemski.
You know who's not winning.
Oh, Keon. He played 17 minutes, right?
I'm just saying.
3 in the second half.
Oh, Whitey. But you don't care about Keon.
I have been of the mind that it might be good to move Malik for some front court help because he's playing so well. But then you still are going to presumably get somebody who's going to take up some minutes.
Right.
So,
I mean, he got 17 last night with no Zach, and that was kind of the thing that we've been talking about, them flipping. So it didn't really make a difference there. So, all right. Well, what's coming up on the show today, Whitey?
Today we have, unfortunately, a shorter show.
Okay, so do you have
because Thursday night football.
The sounds of the Raiders.
Broncos and the Raiders.
9.5.
I know.
This is going to be so bad.
And the Broncos score, I think it's 43% of their points in the fourth quarter. So they kind of hang and hang and hang and hang, and then they tend to turn it on late.
Oh, that's not going to be a problem today.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with Bo Nix. I was really high on him coming into the season, and I'm on the Drake May train with everybody else, but I just don't know. And I've watched a couple of his games. Even the comeback game I watched against the Giants, I still don't really know what I'm seeing, though. Is he elite? I don't know. Seems more game manager-y right now, but they got a good squad. It's like a defensive-focused Brock Purdy situation. Brock Purdy had a good offense and good defense. It's like a defensive focus, so it's not fully Avengers, but it's like half the Avengers.
Sure. Are you still on the Jaden Daniels train?
I was not on the Jaden Daniels.
Because I was. I'm not making fun of you.
No. We had this conversation.
I all the way was.
But I always said he is a string bean. It's going to be hard for him to stay on.
We still have evidence somewhere of you saying he's MVP.
That was by default.
Well, I'm not making fun of you because I almost spent a lot of money on one of his rookie cards, and right now I'm glad I didn't.
But now look.
Maybe I still will.
I said people are not liking Caleb Williams because of things outside of the football stuff, right? But that doesn't look great. He doesn't look like a world beater either. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So
it takes time.
It takes time. All right, Kyle, little prop talk.
Kyle Draper joining us today, too, to answer your question.
He is here more now.
Yes.
Than when he was actually employed.
Literally.
I can't argue.
Did you? He's had so much FOMO. Did you tell him what I said?
I might have slipped my mind.
No, you tell him today. Hey, Alan's been real positive lately. All right, Kyle. Yeah. You called it out earlier, Kyle. Prop talk. Yeah, I'm going with Michael Mayer. 21.5 receptions, or receiving yards. I just think they're going to be all over Brock Bowers, and I don't know how Trey Tucker is going to get loose even without Patrick Surtain. So give me Michael Mayer.
Okay, I'm going with the J.K. Dobbins rushing receiving combo. He doesn't get a lot of receptions, but I'd rather just do that and be like, oh, he breaks off that one big play.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for a fun nugget, Bo Nix has not thrown a touchdown to a tight end in 4 games.
And I'll do you one better. Evan Ingram, 0 yards last game. 0 yards. So he's due.
Well, it could be Troutman, but I'm saying one of the tight ends will probably catch a touchdown tonight.
Now, I hate it when they have the 2 tight ends.
Yeah, it could be Ingram, could be Troutman, but neither has caught a touchdown in 4 games.
This is what the NFL is doing. The 2 bigs in the NBA, and now everyone's got 2 tight ends. That's not good for prop talk, Whitey.
Sorry.
I just like my 1 tight end.
Yeah.
I like my go-to guy.
You
Right?
gotta roll with it.
Mahomes, Kyle's boy, want to throw to Noah Gray once again. What are we doing?
I mean, Noah Gray had more touchdowns than Kelsey last year.
You got somebody, Whitey?
I'm out. I have to serve a 1 week or 1 day suspension because I had Kyler Murray Monday and he didn't play, so I have to sit one out.
I'll give you one for Whitey. This is pretty good, and it's a good defense, so you know how I get down. Ashton Genty receiving yards.
Oh, okay.
Going back to the bread and butter, baby.
Allen going with a running back receiving yards.
Back to the bread and butter. Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson, and Kyle Draper will be joining. Do not miss out on the drive, guys. Thanks to all the callers, sexers, sack chatters. Thank you to Frankie Cardicelli and to Chris Watkins. Kyle Lebetter, great job as always. Until tomorrow, let's get the back. Let the beam.
Humbly speaking, I'm the best rebounding guard ever.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a win in New York, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey had another big game, 106 yards rush, 40, beginning at noon on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2024